executive order on mail-in voting. The order seeks to create a voter database from each state, and the Postal Service would go off of that list to mail ballots to voters. Supreme Court conservative majorities have ruled that the government can keep asylum seekers from entering the U.S. and can cancel the temporary protected status granted to Haitians and Syrians.
The plaintiffs here had also claimed racial animus on the part of the president, who, of course, has said things derogatory about those countries. And Justice Samuel Alito, in the majority opinion, said he did not see sufficient evidence of a racial animus in these decisions.
ABC News senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer. The Federal Reserve's primary inflation gauge shows that last month inflation accelerated 4.1% over May of last year. After deadly earthquakes overnight in Venezuela, at least 188 people are dead, 1,000 more injured. This is ABC News. More on the deadly Venezuelan quakes from ABC's Marcus Moore.
These were two shallow earthquakes. The first one about 14 miles deep, the second one 6 miles in depth. So the energy had less ground to cover, so to speak, resulting in the catastrophic damage that we have been seeing. I mean, entire buildings have collapsed. And we know that several major urban areas have been impacted by these earthquakes. And the U.S. and other countries have now begun to mobilize search crews and relief aid.
ABC's Marcus Moore, the latest on efforts to get a U.S.-Iran nuclear deal. From ABC News contributor and expert on Middle East policy, Javed Ali.
It is clear that Iran is trying to probe or push the conditions of this agreement and see how much room do they have to keep negotiating with one of these critical aspects, which is who's going to control the straits, what kind of economic system will come into place, and who is going to generate the most money from that.
Chuck Severson, ABC News.
The latest on a Whidbey Island home explosion. Details coming up after a quick check on the commute. If you can delay your trip this afternoon, eastbound 2 east of Monroe for another hour or so, that would be a real good move. WashDOT crews are restriping a section of eastbound 2 between Monroe and Gold Bar today. And right now, looks like they're approaching startup, which is heading into Gold Bar. So we're approaching the end of this. Drivers, you cannot pass them during this operation. So you're stuck behind this slow-moving vehicle. Every couple miles, they'll stop and move over and allow traffic to clear. But right now, we've got a 6-mile backup. Heading into Seattle, South 5, we're crowded from Northgate in the downtown, 25 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. North 5, you're going to slow at the Michigan Curve to the West Seattle Bridge. And down in Renton, North 405, it's jam-packed through the S-curves. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Patriotic Show, July 3rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A neighbor thinks fireworks caused a home to explode on Whidbey Island and sent 3 firefighters to the hospital. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports there's still unexploded ordnance inside the home.
Tanya tells me the moment she saw her house on fire driving home, she immediately thought about her neighbor.
Oh, I'm sure it's the fireworks. He bought a truckload last year. Brought it in over to Southern Pass in a semi-truck.
2 fire chiefs and a firefighter were rushed to a hospital with blast injuries. ATF agents will pick up the investigation Thursday, including an official cause, whether or not fireworks were involved. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Tanya's 5 dogs had to be rescued from her home, and the injured firefighters were last listed in stable condition. Crews searching Alder Lake for a missing paddleboarder are no longer hoping to find him alive. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says the search is now a recovery mission. It started yesterday afternoon when a 24-year-old man fell off his paddleboard and slipped underwater. He was not wearing a life jacket, and he never came back up. 24 crews jumped in to search. Crews will resume the recovery mission. It's underway as we speak. Seattle police are still searching for suspects after a High Point shooting that injured a 17-year-old early this morning in West Seattle. There's no information being released yet by SPD. Before officers even found the victim, though, they discovered a crashed suspect vehicle near Sylvan Way Southwest and Del Ridge Way after the suspects fled. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
Police recovered the suspect vehicle and found a rifle inside. Officers also recovered a firearm from bushes near where they located the victim.
Anyone with information asked to call Seattle Police's Violent Crimes tip line at 206-233-5000. Garfield High School is welcoming home one of Seattle basketball's biggest names. Brandon Roy is the new head coach of the Garfield boys basketball program. Roy, a Garfield graduate and former NBA All-Star, returns to the school where his basketball career began. Roy was fired by Garfield at the start of the 25-26 school year following allegations he was part of a recruiting violation that offered an apartment, a car, $2,000, and paid driver's education to an Auburn Mountain View student if he would transfer to Garfield to play basketball. Roy has denied those allegations. Garfield High School will officially welcome him home at a press conference today in just under an hour at 1 o'clock. And now look at your KIRO News Radio weather. Cloudy today. Some light rain hitting Seattle into the early evening, 65 for our high. Tomorrow, steady rain and 64. And then Saturday and Sunday, partly sunny with isolated showers and highs in the mid-60s. 60 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Jake Skorheim sitting here alongside Spike O'Neill. Spike, welcome.
Thank you, my friend. Happy Thursday to you.
Thursday, it's a big day. We got the Team US game tonight versus Turkey.
Yay, well done.
7 p.m. Don't call it Turkey. It's Turkey now. That's going to be a lot of fun. If the team wins, this will be, I believe, the first time they have ever swept the group stage.
Right.
Mexico just accomplished that as well. This is not a sports show.
I saw that.
Mexico did the same thing.
Yeah.
So very cool. And Team USA is it set, or are they just likely to face Bosnia-Herzegovina, who was in town yesterday?
I can't tell. I found a guy who's doing breakdowns on the World Cup brackets.
Sure.
And that gets so confusing, but he's doing it in Lego.
Perfect.
And I'm riveted.
Yeah. Everything's better in Lego.
Everything's better in Lego. He's built little Lego flags, a whole Lego board with a green background.
Fantastic.
And he'll move the flags around. He's got a whole bracket. It's fabulous.
It's great. You can use Lego for anything. That's phenomenal. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to. Kind of a weird segue, talking about the wonderful Legos. Let's talk about Pimp Wars for just a minute.
No, see, I think Lego could be a solution here, too.
We should do news stories depicted as, I don't even know if they want us to say Lego in conjunction with stories about Pimp Wars, but
fair.
Let's say
it's okay in Iran to use Legos to tell your story, but I don't want to know if we want to sing.
Why don't
that.
we do that? Yeah, why don't we do this? Why don't we say bricks and minifigs?
Okay.
Which actually we can't say because that's also that's a shop. Let's say tiny bricks, whatever. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Depict all these stories, but with Lego characters.
An artist rendition of the situation.
We could use AI to make like little tiny Lego pimps.
Yeah.
And
I was going to make a real Lego blockades for the neighborhood.
That's just 4x2.
Right.
Yeah, just a nice little thing. Looks like a planter box. You pop it there.
No, I mean build one. Build a real life-size one out of Legos.
Listen,
put them in the street.
Even one built out of Legos would be better than nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is what they have now.
And a child shall lead them.
There you go. That's a very smart idea. You know what, actually, all jokes aside, that's not a bad idea. Somebody should build it out of Lego. Not Legos. We call it Lego now. Somebody should build it out of Lego. They should put it up there, and it would be almost like an art installation to highlight what's happening. All the pimp wars, all the prostitutes and the Johns that are just freely flowing through these side streets on Aurora.
Lots of children minifigs on the side with sad eyes and tears. Remind these monsters whose lives they're affecting with this brazen behavior.
Tiny little Lego things.
Tiny little Legos.
Because they don't seem to care about the normal people who live there.
They don't.
Might they care about little tiny...
If you reminded them who's feeling the horrific effects of this action, of your decisions to chase people through a private neighborhood.
Seattle City Council, the reason we're talking about this, the Seattle City Council is actually going to vote next week on this.
Yeah, on the 30th.
And what they're going to vote to do is they're kind of deciding, do they have the authority to change the nature of the street? The street is a throughway. You want to be able to have emergency vehicles,
sanitation services, the various civil services that are required for a community Does blocking these streets create an unsafe situation, which is what the mayor's objection was?
Yeah.
Back when the citizenry took it upon themselves, was it May, I believe, and built themselves
the planter boxes filled with
barricades,
rocks and dirt.
Right. After 2 years of asking the city to stop this madness, we'll do it for ourselves. The mayor said unacceptable.
All right, so here's Deborah Juarez, Seattle City Council member, finally speaking out about this. And
nice of her to show up.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. That's because it was at city council, because it wasn't in the neighborhood.
You're right, because you didn't have to go and get nervous about actually being around a dangerous area.
There are shots being fired.
Yeah, she's like, are you kidding? I'm not going to go in this neighborhood. There's pimp wars. What are you, nuts?
Oh, yeah.
This is her talking about whether or not the city council has the authority to help.
I think that we do have the authority to shut down a street for bullets flying and endangering the very lives of those that live there. Actually live there, go to school there, walk their children to school there, get on the bus there, they use the transportation.
Let me tell you what's happening.
They pick up empty shells. They see prostitutes in bikinis in November.
Trying to tell people that they're actually going to the pools to go swimming.
Parents,
that's how you explain it to your kids. This is a CYA thing that they're doing. This is what I think is happening.
City council is?
Yeah, I think the city council has reached a point. They've reached an inflection point where there's enough public outcry and there's enough attention from local media like ourselves and people who are basically highlighting that they have done nothing. And now they're worried about losing their jobs. That's what I think is happening, which actually is really the only motivation that politicians understand. Really, it feels like you get elected into office and then you just try to not lose your job.
Amen.
And that's what happens
at every level.
That's what happens at every level across every political spectrum. Ultimately, it feels like people who are just trying to not lose their jobs.
That's where you guys find common ground? Really? In self-preservation?
In just
Not in public service.
Yeah.
Not in the good of civic good or the good of the common well-being of the people.
The thing is, our founders, and we're coming up on 250 years in this beautiful country.
When? I'm sorry.
When is that? When's that going to be? They were never intending these positions to be lifetime positions. You watch these people who have these jobs. I don't want to single anyone out, so I won't. But I will.
No fun to pick on the elderly.
It's no fun to pick on folks who've been there for a long time. I mean, it is fun, but I'm not going to.
They wouldn't hear it anyway because they're hard of hearing.
Yeah, because they're deaf.
Yeah.
Somebody else does their talking for them. But the thing is, those jobs were not originally intended to be lifetime positions. They're supposed to be public servant positions where you're taking extra time away from your normal life. A lot of the founders, they're businessmen.
Resident farmers.
They were farmers.
Yep,
they were they had breweries. They had stores,
foundries, printing shops, whatever
all
it was.
The stuff.
Merchants.
Yes.
Yeah. A citizen government, a representative citizen government.
They would take time out of their schedule because they realized there was an inherent value in being involved in the decisions that are going to be made that are going to then directly affect your local community. And then they would go and they'd go to D.C. and they would hate it because the heat and all the stuff.
They'd be a 3-day carriage ride. You know.
It was a chore to get there.
Yes, it wasn't a life of luxury.
These politicians that are in the job for 30, 40 years. Why? And then the argument,
because they're multimillionaires.
The argument of course, yeah. Well, then it's just self-preservation. The argument that they usually have is like, well, somebody really knows the system, and they're really good at bringing pork back to your state because they know how to grease the skids.
Yeah, that's
not the best thing. That's not the best thing. It would be great if somebody had some passion. Like we talked to this guy. Do we have audio from this guy? I think we do. Yes, this is from Peter Orr. He's a resident.
This is our resident.
This is our
parent.
resident. Here's who we talked to on Aurora, and I'm going to play a little bit of his cuts, and then I'm going to explain to you why he would be 10 times better than anybody on city council right now. Here he is.
I don't know exactly where you live, but did you pick up a bullet casing on your way to the school bus this morning?
That's what I was going to ask you. No, I did not. And
my 11-year-old found one.
Your 11-year-old found one?
Yeah.
His 11-year-old child found a bullet casing on the way to school. And I asked him, I said, well, how do you explain away this prostitution? Like, how do you explain that dark side of life, that oldest profession, and then the sex trafficking and the human trafficking that's happening? How do you explain that to your kids?
We've mostly been telling the younger kids there must be a pool around somewhere. Everyone's in their swimsuit. That's what you try to do. I did find there is actually a pool nearby, so I wasn't completely lying.
I love you, buddy.
But now, I mean, 11 and 9, they're starting to get educated toward the end of elementary school about like reproduction and that sort of a thing. And so we're like, okay, gloves off, guys. Here's what's going on, and we can be part of trying to make the solution happen. This isn't right. It's in our own backyard here, and be the change you want to see, right?
Which is why he said he doesn't want to give up on this. Do you ever consider just leaving the area?
Yeah, it definitely goes through your head. I think it's gone through all my neighbors' heads. But then you realize when something like this comes up and you have neighbors who are willing to put in the sweat that it takes to get the attention for the city to do something, you realize that you're part of something important that needs to continue. And to bail is to give it up to the pimps. So I couldn't live with myself, I don't think.
See, a guy like Peter Orr, I don't know if he has any aspirations for office, but he's got a very good story that I think people would connect to. They definitely do connect to. We got a ton of responses to this when we had him on. Somebody like that, who's really lived there and really understands, could go into city council or could run for mayor. Obviously, we have seen in politics across every spectrum, you don't need any experience to get elected. Okay?
No, yeah.
Not
you don't need to be a bureaucrat.
Not required.
No.
In fact, being a bureaucrat oftentimes is bad for you if you're going to getting into politics. You take somebody like that and you put him in there, he's going to learn on the job. These guys are not geniuses who are running for office. I'm not saying he's not a genius. I'm saying that the people who are elected are clearly not geniuses.
No, but they're geniuses at manipulating a system.
Well,
that was not designed to be manipulated.
They're not all bad.
No, they're not all bad.
The problem is the ones that stick around for 25, 30, 40 years. It happens all the time.
I often hear politicians knock because they have no real life experience. The only job they've ever held is in public service. And you can obviously gain a knowledge of how to serve a constituency. You said they're not all bad, but there's no real life experience. The founding fathers wanted real life Americans who understood what they needed from their government.
Yeah.
What they didn't need from their government.
Yeah.
People to come and to go. And a rotating real American representative government.
I'm not going to highlight this person's name. I don't need to. You guys could probably take a guess. She's a local political candidate.
I know who you mean.
She's not a candidate. She's a local political.
No, she's a political fixture.
Person.
Yeah. Almost an antique, one might say.
She was definitely an antique. During the height of the Iran war gas price things, she was doing campaigns in front of expensive gas things, and she was talking about how expensive it is when she comes back and forth and she has to fly and everything's so expensive these days, yada, yada. And I kind of listened to it, and I thought about it later on. I was like, wait a minute. When you're flying back from D.C. to Washington, you're not doing that on your own dime. That's paid for. Taxpayers pay those ticket prices. She's not paying those ticket prices, so you're not really feeling it. You might complain about it because you think it's good, like campaign commercial stuff, but you're not really feeling that. Most of us have to pay for our own plane tickets. Most of us have to pay for gas that we fill up in our cars that we have to pay for.
I'd say all.
Politicians don't. Yeah. I watch these videos. It drives me crazy. I watch these videos of politicians complaining about everything, and they're doing it from the back of a car that's being driven by somebody who works for them, who's paid for by us. Yeah. And you just sit there going like, this is such a detachment from reality. It seems crazy. Now I'm talking like way too high. I don't mean to do that.
That's okay. Well, let's getting back to our story.
What were we talking about?
The city council The city council voted unanimously to move forward.
Yeah.
With this. So
they have a vote
for the blockades. They're going to vote on the 30th.
Whether or not they can block the streets. And the answer is yes. You should definitely vote yes.
Yeah. And then the mayor will decide. Once city council votes, does the mayor still have the power to say no?
Here's the other thing. Why does Katie Wilson have so much power? She's voting. She's able to give direction on SDOT. It's the mayor's office. These are not new powers that came with Katie Wilson.
She's the executive.
This is what people voted for. I guess they wanted her to have these powers.
It matters who you vote for. They have so much power.
Wasn't that surprising? We were both surprised because she gets to give a strong opinion that's then taken seriously in the King County Regional Homeless Authority thing. Yes. And you're just like, wait a minute. Why does she get to say yes or no? Why does she get to say yes or no on these pimp war streets?
Well, that's why it matters who you vote for. It really does.
There you go. Do we have time to do this other story? I think we have time to do this one.
The vacation
Did
police?
You see this
yes,
story?
I did. I saw this.
Okay, there's two sides to the story. This is interesting. So Everett, Washington, their police station. Everett Police have a program, this summer getaway program, which I had never heard of before. I didn't know this was a thing. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Everett Police, you could sign up to get on a list if you're going to be gone for more than 3 days and you live in Everett. They don't want to see your house broken into.
No.
And that often, not often, but it can happen if you're out of town and ne'er-do-wells realize that you're not there to stop them from breaking into your house.
We live in patterns. And when someone sees that no cars are in the driveway or no lights are coming on at night, nothing's
or there's a lot of
changing,
boxes piling up on the front step.
Porch, right? That's a target now.
Yeah. So what they do is they will actually let you sign up for this program if you're gone for more than 3 days, and then they will actually send people around to your house to check on it. And if this sounds familiar, it's because you've seen it in movies before.
Are you Mr. McAllister?
Yeah.
The Mr. McAllister who lives here?
Yes. Oh, good, because somebody owes me $122.50.
I'd like a word with you, sir.
Am I under arrest or something?
No. It's Christmas time. There's always a lot of burglaries around the holidays. So we're just checking the neighborhood to see if everyone's taking the proper precautions, that's all.
Oh, yeah, well, we have automatic timers for our lights, locks for our doors. That's about as well as anybody can do these days, right?
All right, fans of Home Alone realize that that's actually a bad guy dressed as a cop.
Bandits.
That's a wet bandit.
Yeah.
That's Harry.
Joe Pesci.
He's just pretending because he's scoping the house out.
Right.
But that's what I thought when I saw this. I was like, man, yeah, you're right. People really do. They could find out who's leaving, and then so thankfully, every police have this program. But it's not actually staffed by police officers.
But they've been doing this for 2 decades, which I was completely
Really?
unaware. Yes, 2 decades they've been doing this, and they carefully vet the volunteer force, an all-volunteer force in clearly marked Everett Police volunteer on the side of their car. So don't take them that seriously. They have.
Does it say volunteer?
It does on the side of the car. They're carefully vetted. And they will make these rotations around the neighborhoods to people that have let the Everett Police know that they're not going to be around.
See, that's a problem.
Why?
That it says volunteer on
so
it.
when you see...
Now you highlight, you just follow a volunteer card and you just take note.
See where
You're
they
like, Where are
stop?
they checking in on?
Right. I hadn't even thought about that. You're right.
I'm not trying to give any bad
They're letting
guys...
the wet bandits know who's out of town.
Yes. Now, is this something you would ever sign up for? Would you ever do something like this if you're leaving town?
You know what? I got to tell you, I wouldn't need it because I've got neighbors.
Okay.
I mean, we are lucky enough to live in a neighborhood where I know all my neighbors' names. We've been there almost over 20 years now.
Yeah.
And I know it's a rarity these days to know your neighbors. We're so detached from social life itself.
We can be. I'm like you.
You're
I know.
the same
I know
way.
all my neighbors. We're all on a text chain, and when one of us is leaving,
I know when the folks are out of town. I pick up their mail. I take out the recycling. I bring in their cans, whatever it may be. If there's a box on my neighbor's porch in any direction, they ask me. I bring them and we collect them until they're back from out of town.
You do the same thing I do. You just put it in your garage. When
Yes.
they get back, they'll let you know.
Well, I go through it, see if it fits, and then I put it back in the box, tape it shut carefully. But I love this service.
I was going to make a ladies' underwear joke, but I won't.
You know, the one thing people do that makes them a target more than anybody else, and I can't believe people still do this. They announce on social media when they're leaving town, or they post pictures of themselves on vacation.
Yeah, bad idea.
It's nowadays finding out who somebody is and where they live is so easy to get information about us. Our identities are so laid bare. Our information so laid bare. When you're posting pictures that you're going, or announcing you're going, or you're on, here we are in Cabo at the office. It's 2-for-1 happy hour. I got bad news for you. When you come home, you're going to need to go furniture shopping.
This is why the only pictures that I post online are me never leaving my house, cleaning my guns.
That's perfect. Perfect. It's another staycation for me and my ammunition
Guess who's
salesman.
never leaving? And I will be here every day. You know what? It's different now, though. Unlike the Home Alone days where he says, hey, we got automatic lights and timers. That's all you can do. I mean, we have so many cameras now. I do wonder if, it's interesting to have this program. I didn't realize this program was decades old.
Yeah.
But the technology has become so accessible for people now. I mean, you can get a really good 4K Ring camera. You can get, they sell all sorts of knockoff versions of that at every place.
Everybody's got
For nothing. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing. And you can have every angle of your house scoped out. So if anybody gets any wise ideas, you see any wet bandits walk up.
I've got video of everybody that's come to my front door for the last 2 years. Everybody. Every squirrel.
It's all Amazon.
It's all right there. It's all I know every Amazon driver almost by name.
Well, I've seen stories where they will dress up like Amazon drivers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they'll go and just to test the waters.
Yeah. There are people who have gone to work for Amazon just to steal the vest and then go on a spree.
I bet you can buy that as a costume.
It's
I'm
on,
giving
it's
all
on,
these
It's
bad
on Prime
ideas.
Days. It's on Prime Days.
Ideas.
Amazon vest. My Halloween costume is Amazon driver. Look at that. Brilliant.
What we got coming up next? Oh, it's almost 4th of July.
Well, are we going to do that? We're going to
have story. This is an interesting story. We got Luke Ducey coming in
studio
studio
with another cautionary tale for you folks.
Yeah, he's coming up next. There's a reason why you're not supposed to build fireworks at your house. We'll tell you about it next.
You can count them on what's left of your fingers.
Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Folks, I know the rainy season is over and summer's upon us, but it's a great time right now. You get an inspection of your roof, of your insulation. Find out how your home did during the winter rainy months. Find out if your insulation is going to keep you cool and save you money during the hot summer. Call my friends at Integrity Roofing and Construction, 206-202-ROOF. Schedule a free roof assessment or video inspection today. They have years of experience in roofing, restorations. They can do repairs, replacements. They got a modeling division in-house. They can do it all, and they do it all so very well. IntegrityRC.com is the website, IntegrityRC.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about soccer. Serious passion, inhuman stamina, and yet exaggerated injuries. Soccer is one of the few sports where overtime is a little subjective. One thing we know is that many fans enjoy game day with craft brews. Be sure to keep a clean sheet. It's not worth trading in those bicycle kicks for riding your bicycle to work. When being pulled over for DUI, there are rarely yellow cards, only red. So play it safe and don't go off sides. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to schedule your free private consultation. If you're stopped for DUI midfield from home and there are no free kicks, make it your goal to call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Washington is among nearly 24 states celebrating a court win against President Trump. ABC's Peter Haralambous reports a federal judge has blocked his executive order that would have built a national voter database and restricted mail ballots.
And the timing is crucial. Earlier this month, the Postal Service actually began the process of enacting part of this executive order by issuing a proposed rule that would direct states to create these lists of approved voters. The judge really unequivocal about the legality of that, writing, and I quote here, "The Constitution does not grant the president any specific powers over elections."
The judge also says the order unconstitutionally violates a separation of powers. The ruling halts the policy through the upcoming midterm election cycle when the order would have limited Postal Service ballot delivery. New safety concerns are being raised at the Nippon Dynawave plant in Longview, the site of an implosion that killed 11 people in May. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson requested records from the Washington Department of Labor and Industries.
Just 3 months before the implosion, a man had fallen into a sinkhole filled with hot pulping stock. Supervisors called it a near miss. Another witness saying, quote, "Operations were moving quickly to restart production and there was pressure to get the system back online," end quote. UW professor Marty Cohen says the Federal Chemical Safety Board will likely take note of that.
CSB can certainly bring that up, that, production pressures were an issue.
We also found the Department of Ecology reported several leaks across the plant, including with the tank that imploded called the G-Tank.
More Washington children will have access to free preschool next year. The Department of Children, Youth, and Families is adding about 2,500 new slots to its early childhood education and assistance program. The state-funded preschool program serves eligible 3- and 4-year-olds and currently enrolls more than 14,000 children statewide. Officials say the expansion will add services at 54 new locations. And a check at Wall Street, the Dow holding on to gains, but the tech-heavy NASDAQ still losing ground. Dow up 66. S&P 500 down 11, and the NASDAQ down 189. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic. Eastbound 2 heading through Sultan. You've got a 6 to 7 mile backup between Sultan and Gold Bar due to a restriping project underway. So we've got this slow-moving vehicle. You're not allowed to pass it, so you're stuck behind it. The good news is I think we're close to the finish line. South 5 into Seattle slows from Northgate in the downtown. And in Thurston County, South 5, you're slow between Lacey and Olympia. And North 5, a 2 to 3 mile backup near Tumwater Boulevard due to road work. Now check out your KIRO News Radio forecast. 69 and cloudy this afternoon. Light drizzle shows up in Seattle around 6 p.m. and then rain all day tomorrow on 64. 61 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is almost 4th of July. We are just about a week away. Everybody's favorite holiday. Is this your favorite holiday, Spike? 4th of July?
Yes.
Probably not your favorite, but it's close. Is it your favorite?
No. Yeah.
Can I take a guess at what yours is?
Sure.
Thanksgiving.
Nope.
Christmas.
I'm a Christmas guy.
Okay.
I'm a Christmas
Good for
guy.
you.
My wife's a Halloween lady. I'm a Christmas guy.
It's all the same time of year, though. Pretty close.
I like the holiday season.
Yeah,
Starts
it's a
for us.
warm. But we have 4th of July coming up.
And
which
it
means
is
fireworks.
well, some of my greatest memories ever have been 4th of July celebrations, to be fair.
100%.
You know.
My kids last night were like, "Can we stop?" Because they put up all the tents near us for the fireworks.
Oh, the fireworks, yeah.
Can we go
Safe,
and get them?
sane.
I was like, they're not there. They're not open yet. We can't do it quite yet. But that's not letting everybody stop them from doing fireworks sometimes on their own. Luke Ducey joins us now. Luke, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What happened on Whidbey Island? This is a crazy story.
Yeah, good question. So we can't officially make the connection, but really interesting what unfolded yesterday. If you've been following the headlines, there was a house that just exploded into pieces on Whidbey Island in a specific, right in the middle of the island in the specific area, kind of on the Puget Sound side. And you know, it caught another house on fire, a second one. That one burned to the ground as well. And then a third one caught on fire as well. They were able to put that out. But when firefighters got there to the scene, it came across as a 911 call and for a fire. They got there, got out of the truck. As soon as they stepped out of the truck, apparently, kaboom. That's when that explosion happened. Sent 3 firefighters to the hospital, including 2 fire chiefs and 1 firefighter with blast injuries. I mean, blast injuries can be a range of things. It can be, you know, ears, concussions,
concussive stuff,
organ damage, you know, that comes on later. It could be even something that's called lung blast, that you could get an embolism in there. That's, yeah, it's really dangerous stuff.
It's the stuff you see in action movies.
Yeah.
You know, you're sure Bruce Dills can walk away from it.
Yeah. But that's fiction.
That's fiction. This is deadly stuff.
So you actually, KIRO News Radio spoke with one of the neighbors.
That's right. So
what was the response?
So this morning, you know, I was looking through, trying to find, calling all the investigators and authorities, of course, and couldn't get them, and located this one woman who was a neighbor of this house. Wasn't there at the time. Her name's Tanya. She was heading home to let the dogs out. She's got 5 dogs at home and saw that, oh my God, my house is on fire. Firefighters were there. They got all the dogs out and got them to the vet. So the dogs are fine. But I asked her then this morning on the phone, so what do you think? What about the cause here? Does anyone know what's going on? Without hesitation, again, not an official cause, but this is what she told me she has seen over the past year and weeks and days at her next-door neighbor's home.
Oh, I'm sure it's the fireworks. He bought a truckload last year. Brought it in over to Ocean Pass in a semi truck, and he wanted to offload it on our property. Said no. There was a pallet in the middle of the street. I guess yesterday he had, I think, 3 or 4 delivered.
So she says that her neighbor had truckloads, semi-truckloads of fireworks delivered to the house over the course of the year. These things are on pallets. There are so many. She thinks that's got to be it. ATF agents are out there today investigating, so there is a federal investigation, and they're looking into unexploded ordnance. When you hear that, you think like an unexploded bomb or something.
Yeah, I think Hurt Locker.
Yeah, Hurt Locker, a movie about war. And
this
you know,
is just
this
in a
could be
quiet
fireworks.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
on Whidbey Island.
Views.
Let me ask you guys a question.
That has
Smuggler's Cove Road is the road right there.
Yeah. Well, there's your sign.
Let me ask you a question about this.
Sure.
If you saw your neighbor have pallet deliveries, truckload deliveries of fireworks, what would you do?
Well, I'm a responsible neighbor. I'm going to offer to help pay some of the costs. I'm going to offset some of the costs for his private show. I'm going to see what he needs me to bring to the barbecue. I'm going to secure my front row seat to this Hall of Fame level fireworks display that this patriotic man is ready for his neighborhood.
Sounds like you made the right decision.
I speak a little facetiously here because I come from a long family of practicing pyromaniacs. Mm-hmm. But this is a city that doesn't have a official fireworks show. Right?
Yeah.
And I understand with fire safety and all of the precautions that we take to have safe tributes to our national birthday, people want to have...
People love fireworks.
People love fireworks. It's who we are. I mean, you know, you can't see a picture of the American flag waving without fireworks blowing in the background. If you want to think about America, that's what you do.
And the rockets... Red glare,
that's right.
The bombs bursting in air. It's baked into our DNA. We want to see fireworks around the 4th of July.
And much like the barricades in North Seattle, if you won't give us what we need, we'll get it ourselves.
But the problem is that something like this can happen.
But then you get guys like this.
That's a big but.
I've been to both. You know, I've been to a neighborhood show that was up in it's the Call Me Pass, where they have they had such an elaborate setup. Like, it was just rows and rows and rows, all computerized, and it was a neighbor who did this.
Oh, yeah.
And all the neighbors would invest some money in this and that, and we thought, hey, we'll walk down there and we'll watch that thing, and it was awesome. It was incredible. But the whole time I was thinking, okay, what's my exit strategy? Hey, do you want to sit in the lounge chair? I'm not sitting in a lounge chair. I'm going to get behind something a little bit here, and I'm going to watch just in case this thing goes to hell.
Go sideways,
and then you're out of there. But then I've also been on barges that they have in when they had it at Lake Union.
Yeah, the official shows. Yeah,
the official shows, and those guys are on there away from it, but they're behind these huge blast shields.
Yeah, and they're trained professionals.
But even those go awry.
Those go wrong too.
Thankfully, nobody died in this explosion.
Nobody died.
There were injuries, but nobody died in the explosion. Did they they arrested the guy?
No. This
There's no
investigation's
arrest.
still going on.
This is just investigation.
This is really early. This is really early moments.
The fireworks speculation is, as Luke pointed out very clearly and numerous times,
it's a neighbor speculation, but
assumption
we don't know
speculation
yet.
from a neighbor.
And let's be fair, she's not the only one either. I've seen comments as well, people saying, fireworks. They all point to the same thing. But there is no, we just want to stress again, there is no official cause released.
Have you guys ever had any fireworks mishaps?
Sure.
On 4th of July?
Of course.
I'd love to hear that story.
I've got a first cousin who is now divorced, may or may not be. Part of that reason is the fireworks shows on an annual basis. But this kind of guy that would literally spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Up at
it seems crazy, but
the Indian reservation in Tulip, Boom City, or down at Muckleshoot, all these, and you can get fireworks, you can get real. I mean, the things we sell in our communities on the parking lots of the grocery stores,
just sparklers.
Those are fine.
Sparklers.
Right,
That's
they're
all
fun.
they are.
They're safe. They're sane. They're allowed. You go up to in reservations and you get the big guns going on. And we had a guy who would make his own munitions, a local, Tulalip Indian native. And he would say, "Come on, I'll show you because we're in a radio show. Come on, I'll show you the good stuff.
Yeah, trying to impress you.
This guy's filling tennis balls, putting fuses in them. I mean, these were nuts. These guys were nuts. My cousin had a display, and he's the kind of guy, like you said, he would build his own. You put the tubes on a board, you make it for launching different things. Got it all. So he's got a musical
set to music and
set
all
list
stuff.
he put together. Jimi Hendrix, Star Spangled Banner, whole 9 yards.
Oh, that's
something
awesome.
tips over. Rocket shoots right through the window of his baby child into the house, catches the drapes on fire. Next thing you know, we're using beer to put the fire out. The garden hose coming through the broken window.
What kind of beer?
Bud Light. It's the only thing you use to put out a fire. Otherwise you let it burn.
Don't grab the big. Put the good stuff down.
No, don't use that.
He takes the shot of Fireball, spits it at the fire. It gets worse. No, that was Revenge of the Nerds. But that was the last fireworks show, and I believe his last 4th of July at that house, if I'm not mistaken. But I digress.
And then he and his wife did.
There were I'm sure, other reasons.
Probably.
Yeah. Who wastes good Bud Light?
When the Seahawks beat the Packers in the NFC Championship, and I was so excited because that meant I was traveling to the Super Bowl as well for TV back then, and I was super excited. May have had a few. I'm not going to lie.
Well, it happens.
Lit some sparklers up to join the festivities outside on the deck. Everyone was outside cheering, and I may have lit too many at once, dropped it on the deck, and stepped on it. I left a burn and a blister.
Those things burn.
So I mixed alcohol and sparklers. That didn't work out well.
That's a mistake. Yeah.
I
didn't shoot anything through the window though.
I hope it happens. I hope the firefighters recover completely and are going to be fine with this. And it's
stable condition.
It's a knock wood miracle that this house that exploded,
that nobody was
in this house. It is a miracle.
Yeah.
It's in
crazy
pieces.
Story.
We've got photos online. Go check it out on mynorthwest.com.
Check the photos out at mynorthwest.com. Luke Ducey, appreciate you coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we got a lot more coming up next. You don't want to miss a second of this because this is a famous duck. This is an
internet sensation. This is a global sensation. This duck. Yeah, he's
named
a star.
after a famous wizard, and he's a duck, and it's World Cup related. I mean, that's just tailor-made for our show. We'll tell you about it next. Stick around.
Ooh, it is hot outside.
Western Washington is under a heat advisory.
So yeah, stay hydrated and stay with KIRO News Radio for updates on our record heat wave.
If we get to 90, it'll be the second time this June that we've done that.
Together with KIRO 7 Pinpoint Weather.
It's going to be interesting here for the next couple of days.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
In the Northwest 20 years ago, 90 was unforget about it.
The KIRO News Radio app and your smart speaker.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
All right, welcome back to the show.
We've been talking about World Cup stuff since it started. We've really zeroed in less on the soccer part of it. That's all right.
It is. It's okay. And it's been wonderful.
Yeah, it's nice.
Wonderful.
U.S. is crushing.
Yeah, I'm surprisingly interested in the match play.
I know why soccer's not a popular sport in America. Because we don't dominate in it, and Americans like to win. So which I think the U.S. has a real shot to win this World Cup. People think I'm crazy for saying that, but when you look at the other teams, you look at the other teams, and they're not crushing. Some of them are doing okay, but they obviously have holes. You have great teams like Spain who are tying absolutely non-competitive teams at 1-1 or 0-0. So does U.S. have a chance to win the whole thing? Yes, I believe so. They're playing in really good form.
I think you nailed it, though. We like a winner in this country.
We like a winner.
When the Women's World Cup team won the World Cup,
everybody loves soccer.
Soccer exploded in this country.
Yeah. And when they won it, like every year they play in it, soccer explodes.
Yeah.
People really like winners.
We like a winner. It's not. I thought it was because the game was boring. I genuinely thought
the game's really fun.
The game's not boring.
Yeah.
It's not a boring game. We like dominance. When the U.S. dominates,
we want to win.
We will become a soccer nation.
Yeah, we want to win. And eventually, when we take over the sport of cricket, when we're very good at cricket, however that's played, first we have to figure out how it's played. Then we have to learn how to dominate it.
Same thing with soccer. We had to figure out how to do this.
Yes, but we're finally getting it. But one thing that we realized about soccer, which is a lot of fun, is it does bring out kind of a lot of characters. Here's a character. His name is Merlin. He's a duck. And apparently he's a social media star. Had you ever heard of Merlin before?
I had
today?
not. I had not, but he's a fixture.
Now, here's the thing. This is a perfect example of the crazy world that we live in. I sent this story earlier because I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's cute. It's a duck. Everybody loves ducks. You saw the headline, and you assumed it was a different duck who's also famous.
I assumed it was the mascot of the Tartan Army, which is Dawn from Providence, Rhode Island.
Who's not Merlin.
Not Merlin, no. The Scots have their own duck, and there's video all over social media of this duck wearing a Scottish flag, marching with the Tartan Army in Boston.
Adorable.
To a World Cup match. And people love this duck. And then
these are not mascots. This is not like University of Oregon duck. This is
just a
real duck.
A duck walking in front of a parade full of bagpipers.
With like a sash on.
And the story today is that Merlin, who is the unofficial mascot of the Mexican national soccer team, wasn't allowed into the match.
Yeah, by FIFA
from Mexico
standards.
And Scotland.
Here's what
yesterday
they said.
In Miami.
Yeah, they said that he could not. They said that he will be allowed in for a quick interview on one of their local stations. So they allowed him in a transport crate so that they could interview him for one of the local TV stations. And then they said he's got to get out of here.
Got to get out of the game.
Because FIFA has a regulation that prohibits animals from entering any of these venues where they're playing these games. They say for the safety of the animals.
Right. And this was in Mexico. I said Miami. This was
Mexico.
This was down in Mexico. Mexico has played all their games in their home country, as his American teams, of course, have.
So
Canada's doing the same thing for their national team as well. The duck wasn't allowed to enjoy the game and support. He provides that club.
That's a shame.
I guarantee you that Dawn, the Scottish duck, was in the stadium.
Yeah.
I will guarantee. I don't know it for a fact, but I just know it's true.
Just because the Scots wouldn't take no for an answer.
Well, my first thought was, you guys, you got 20,000 people in kilts. You can't sneak a duck into a stadium. I'm disappointing you.
Is that a duck in your pocket?
But I found out what they do is they give it you've seen bagpipes.
Oh my gosh. You can just pretend it's a bagpipe.
You dress the duck in a tartan sweater. You put a blowpipe in its mouth. You hold it under your arm.
That seems like animal cruelty.
You march in. The duck's having fun. You don't squeeze it. You pretend to squeeze it. Next thing you know, you're in the stands. You got a beer in one hand. You got a duck in the other. You're rooting your team on to victory.
There's nobody who wouldn't love seeing that.
Right?
Is that a duck?
How many beers have you had? Can't tell a duck from a bagpipe.
Either you're drunk or I'm drunk. Is that a duck? Like, no. It's just a very clever bagpipe.
He's driving. Forget it.
That's hilarious. That would be really interesting, but you have to train the duck to hold whatever he needs to. You don't even put anything in his mouth because he's got the beak.
Right. You just kind of play him a little bit. Play his neck. It's great.
Well, poor little Merlin, he wasn't allowed to stay. So.
Didn't hurt Mexico, though. They won.
Like did they win?
They went through perfect in their group play. Perfect.
You're right. They did very well in that game.
Still not a top 10 team pick to win this tournament, though. Their odds to win are less than like 4%, I believe.
Isn't
that crazy?
I think they're in the same boat as U.S. U.S. is like
Well, that's
I want to say high mid-table.
Yeah, we're not top.
We're not one
10.
of the. We're not one of the favorite teams.
Right,
Obviously,
we're not top 10. We're definitely top 15.
But we should get extra points because it's our nation.
There's a lot to, like Ross was telling us, there's a lot to home field advantage with a crowd that is just, the Mexicans have that crowd down there has been insane.
Sure.
Even without a duck, they've been insane.
Yeah, they don't
supporting
need a
their team. That lifts a team. That inspires a team.
You watch those Team US games. Like there's a game tonight, 7:00 against Turkey. This is back at LA, right? SoFi.
I think it's
Santa Clara?
The San Francisco Bay Stadium. Bay Area Stadium.
Bay Area Stadium.
Whatever.
Yeah, wherever that's at, Santa Clara. You can really tell how helpful that is to have a home crowd. And you're watching just like tens and tens of thousands of fans.
And that may be the X factor that helps the Americans win this World Cup.
100%. All right, we got a lot more coming up. When we come back, if you hate tolls as much as we do, or at least as much that you hate tolls, right?
I hate tolls.
You hate tolls. Good. All right, we both hate tolls. There is a segment of the driving population that might get a break on tolls, and we'll tell you who that is.
Is it rich people? It's always rich people that get breaks.
It's not rich people.
Wow.
We'll tell you about it when we come back, and so much more. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Caregiving isn't just hard work, it's heart work. Every day, caregivers bring dignity, kindness, and comfort to those who need it most. Right now, Washington needs more caring hearts. Your kindness, your patience, your heart are needed more than ever. Caregiver Careers Washington will guide you every step of the way. Our friendly navigators help you find training, certification, and employment at no cost to you. Start your heart work today at caregivercareerswa.com. That's caregivercareerswa.com.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB in this station.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley is now open. 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Stock up now for the 4th at Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley. Open now through July 4th. With over 100 fireworks stands and a variety of food and beverage options, you're sure to get your 4th of July off to a great start at Firecracker Alley. Don't miss the free fireworks show on June 30th. Learn more at puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, if I've heard it once, I've heard it 100 times from our sports teams in town. Talent acquisition, we need it. I'm guessing at IRG, talent acquisition is also key for you?
Absolutely, Brock. Talent acquisition is everything. You know, our strength here at IRG is what I call our human capital. These are the folks that work here at IRG with a passion, with a focus on building great teams, providing great care, and being involved in the community. We want the best and brightest. And if you're looking for an opportunity to be the best and brightest, IRG is the place for you. We will provide mentorship, continuing education, personal and professional growth. We have it all for you. We want the best and brightest.
If you want to be a part of that team, all you got to do is go visit one of their 40 convenient locations. IRG is in your neighborhood. All the details as well, you can find them at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance for 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. A U.S. official confirms that Iran attacked a ship in the Strait of Hormuz with a drone today. ABC's Louis Martinez covers the Pentagon.
This would be the first time that we now know that there is some kind of a new kind of kinetic incident involving Iran since the signing of that memo of understanding just last week.
Federal judges blocked part of a President Trump executive order that would have tried to mandate how states would run mail-in voting. The Supreme Court says the maker of Roundup weed killer can't be sued under state law for failing to warn users about the product's alleged cancer risk because the EPA didn't require a warning. Supreme Court conservative majorities today ruled that the government can keep asylum seekers from entering the U.S. and can cancel the temporary protected status granted to Haitians and Syrians. After deadly earthquakes in Venezuela, at least 188 people are dead and nearly 1,000 others are injured. This is ABC News. A day after a lunchtime shouting match on Capitol Hill after President Trump canceled the signing of an affordable housing bill, House Speaker Johnson has been at the White House talking with the president. ABC's Karen Travers.
The president, he's been saying since March that he would not sign any legislation until Congress passed the Save America Act. But there isn't a clear path forward right now in the Senate for that to happen because there isn't enough Republican support.
The Florida immigration facility known as Alligator Alcatraz is closing after a year. Governor Ron DeSantis in a news conference says it was always meant to be temporary.
This was an emergency situation. DHS did not have resources. The funding they got last summer had not passed yet. And they were in a situation where they could not keep these people. They didn't know what to do with them. They didn't have the space.
Lawsuits against the facility alleged inhumane conditions for detainees, including inedible food and bathrooms that didn't work. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Governor Ferguson's taxes in the upcoming legislative session. Talks more about that, and we have details coming right up. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic. Eastbound 2 between Sultan and Gold Bar. We've got a 5-mile solid backup due to road work. We've got slow machinery restriping the highway. You can't drive around, so you're stuck behind it. It should be wrapping up real soon. They're close to the finish line. South 5 heading into Seattle, getting pretty heavy now from Northgate in the downtown. 25-30 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. North 5, you're slow at the Michigan curve just past I-90, and we've got some brief backups down at the First Avenue South Bridge due to a recent marine crossing. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners, and don't miss fireworks nights all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Patriotic Show, July 3rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Governor Bob Ferguson is laying out his fiscal approach for the upcoming legislative session.
I've been pretty clear in the budget that I'll be proposing that I won't be proposing new taxes.
But if lawmakers pass a tax increase, will he veto that?
We're talking about, first of all, something that's many months away. First, what I've got in front of me is my proposed budget, which will not have taxes. Number two, what I'm communicating to legislators is my expectation is we get through this budget cycle
this next session without raising taxes. And I'm being very clear about that expectation.
He says with the state likely facing a multi-billion-dollar shortfall, cuts will be needed. Federal Way police shot a 19-year-old man yesterday afternoon after responding to a mental health crisis call. Investigators say the man called 911 himself and reported he had a gun. Officers arrived on Campus Drive and attempted less lethal tactics. Those efforts failed, and the encounter ended in a shooting. The man was hospitalized in critical condition, and now an independent investigation is underway. 2 men are dead after a float plane hit a power line over the Columbia River. The Tri-City Herald reports it happened yesterday afternoon near Clover Island in Kennewick. The Franklin County coroner says both men on board died and crews recovered their bodies. The plane flew into a wire that crossed the river, dropping the plane and that live line into the water. The Seattle waterfront has never been busier. KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horker on the huge number of fans visiting the area since the World Cup kicked off.
451,172. Those are the visits from June 11 to June 21st, the first day of summer. A big driver was obviously the epic Friday, June the 19th. We're going to be talking about that day in Seattle for years with the U.S. versus Aussie matchup.
City officials say more than 84,000 people visited Waterfront Park on Friday alone. Seattle police are investigating an early morning shooting in West Seattle's High Point neighborhood that left a teen boy wounded. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
SPD says 911 callers reported rapid gunfire just before 1 a.m. near Southwest Morgan Street and Sylvan Way Southwest. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard says along with one victim, 3 vehicles and 2 buildings were hit by gunfire.
Officers arrived and found a 17-year-old boy suffering from a gunshot wound to his hip. Medics transported the victim to Harborview Medical Center in serious but stable condition.
Officers found a suspect vehicle crash nearby. They also recovered a rifle and a handgun. So far, no arrests have been made. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And a check on your weather. Cloudy with a light drizzle showing up towards the end of the evening commute and a high of 69. 64 tomorrow with rain all day, and then rain tapers off over the weekend with partly sunny conditions and highs in the mid-60s. 62 and cloudy over downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours left to go. Lots of great stuff. We're going to talk with, in just a little bit, we're going to get Chris Sullivan in here, next segment. We were talking about this a little bit ago. 4th of July is coming up. A lot of people are going to be traveling. A lot of people are going to go out to the beach. And as often happens when you go to the coast in Washington, you can drive your car on the sand, which is one of the coolest experiences ever.
It's a local treasure. It absolutely is.
You sounded like Forrest Gump when you said that.
It's a household name.
That's exactly what you sounded like. We love these beaches. They're local treasure. They really are.
You can drive on them.
And you will get stuck. That's what Chris is going to talk about.
Yeah.
Getting stuck on these beaches, which obviously that sucks.
How many times do I have to tell you? But it happens every year. And you know, nobody intends to. We'll tell you what to do and not do.
Yeah.
Not us. Sully will, because he knows. He's your conduit.
He's your traffic guy. He's happy to do it.
Yes.
So join us at 1:30 for that. Let's stick with car stuff for just a second. Chris would love this topic. He's not going to be in here for this right now. He'll be in with us in a little bit, but I think he would love this topic. Toll lanes. The bane of traffic existence in Washington State. Toll lanes. Awful, in my opinion. I hate them. In case anyone's mistaking my feelings about them, I do not like toll lanes, and I don't think they're effective. And I actually don't think they should be legal for roads that we already pay taxes on, are then made exclusive to just a very small amount of drivers who can afford to pay the crazy prices that they inflate them to. We have something in Washington State called dynamic pricing. So it gets more expensive based on the flow of traffic because they're required by law to justify the toll lanes. They're required by law to keep the traffic in those lanes flowing at I think 45 miles an hour.
I think that is the threshold they're seeking, yes.
They never hit that, ever. They're never at 45
and the
miles an
idea
hour.
is the more expensive you make it, the less cars go into it, the higher the rate of speed will be. That's their formula.
Yes.
Okay.
So when they first started these lanes, everyone will remember the good old days. What is it like? How long did these get started? 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
10, 12 years ago, yeah. Something
Okay.
like that, yeah.
When they first started, they said, we got to pick an arbitrary, crazy high number that we're never, ever, ever going to hit. The low will be 25 cents. The high will be some crazy number. Don't worry about it, folks. It's never going to happen. Let's call it $10 just because we've got to put something in there.
Got to put some imaginary ceiling on this.
Yes,
Yeah.
and everybody went, $10. Could you imagine if
Who
we had to pay
would do that?
$10 to drive in a road that previously we could ride in for nothing? And then day one, it hit $10. And then day two, it hit $10. And then every day after, pretty much, it hit $10. And so they said, you know what, folks, like this lane, we got to keep this going at 45. So this $10 price is clearly not doing
Not
it.
getting it done.
So we got to raise that price. And then they raised it up, went up to like 12 or something like that. Right now on 405 and 167 hot lanes, it's $15 is the max.
And remember we spoke to Sully about a month and a half ago? Next session, they'll contemplate making it even more.
Yeah. The number 18, number, imagine this for a second, and we'll get to what's new about this in just a second. But just imagine you're sitting there on 405 and you're trying to get down to Bellevue for whatever reason, and traffic's going crazy, and you're looking over in that toll lane and you're thinking about pulling in there, and then you see on the sign it says $21, and you go, what the? There's a glitch in this sign.
Right.
This sign's broken. It says it added a 1. It clearly just means $2, but no.
Or maybe it was 12 and someone with dyslexia is manning the sign today.
It could be somebody.
Let's call them and tell them that some guy with dyslexia is manning the sign today.
Yes.
That says $21.
And it couldn't possibly be 20. But those are the numbers that they're actually putting out there as possibilities to try to keep this lane moving at this 45-mile-an-hour number that they're required to keep it at.
You said a group was going to get a break.
Here's the group that is going to get a break. They're discussing this. They're not. It's not a promise.
Not
yet.
a done deal yet. Okay.
Yeah, but the let's
plan
see.
Under, it says a plan under consideration.
A plan under consideration.
Okay, I like that. I like the sound of that.
All right, so they're thinking about saying folks who are at 200%, no more than 200% of the federal poverty level. So for a family of 4, that would be somebody a household income of $66,000. If you have a household income of $66,000 or below, and you want to use Good to Go, you can apply for this. If this passes, you can apply for this, and then they would cut those tolls in half for you. So you'd have like a discounted system. What do you think of that?
So the idea is to keep less cars out, but you're going to make it so more cars can go in because even poor people
deserve to
get to work on time. And yeah. I don't believe anything about their intent of making it go faster if it's about money, and they're gonna make it easier on folks who don't make a lot of money to get in those lanes. It's not gonna go faster if you open it up to the people who are, and twice the national poverty level, still impossible in this town.
Yeah,
to make it.
Yeah, 66,000 for a family of 4. If you live locally,
people pushing pushing a cart with their stuff in it, ride free. That's really great. I mean, if you're gonna help the poor, help the poor.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. It's not going to it's going to slow down the flow of traffic.
So here's the thing.
That's not going to. This is going to help that goal. If that isn't said, in fact, the goal. If you make 200% of the national poverty level, you should ride free.
Yeah, you could make it free.
Half is nothing.
You could make it free.
I mean, make it free. If folks, we can't get a break these days between our utility costs, our gas costs, our food costs. Everything costs more.
That. The halving of the toll price that they're talking about is still going to be close to the high that they originally told us was a ridiculous number. We're still talking about almost $10.
A couple $100 a month for a family living.
Well, if you're using it every time.
We're talking about,
The idea is that you're not using it every time.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The problem is
Thanks for talking me off the curb. I was ready to jump here.
Well, don't jump. The problem is, and Chris Sullivan explained this to us, I think maybe last time he was on the show. I don't know, some other time. What they're talking about doing is it's going to be in segments, so it's not even just going to be like, you jump in it and then you're good as long as you're in it. You can go as far as you want.
There's
going to be like multiple different checkpoints where if you take it from Linwood to or whatever wherever it picks up on 405, if you get on 405 and you take it down to somewhere far south, you might pay $45.
Yeah, it's up in Linwood.
Because you might be knocked 3 times
exchange
for
that
this
jumps in. Yeah, I know exactly where it starts. I know the first blue light I drive under.
I used to take that thing every day, and I would well, I'm not going to say me because I don't know what the statute
I heard of a guy.
I've heard of a guy who would jump in with the HOV thing switched over, and then every time he went through a transponder, he'd switch the HOV thing, and then he would switch it out. I've heard of a guy doing that. What I think they've updated though to protect against that is the light blinks differently when you go through. Like say a cop is watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the light, you know how it does a little flash?
Yeah.
I think it blinks differently for an HOV, so the cop sees it, and then he go, "Hey, I saw that guy. He's not an HOV."
He
and
can
the light
see inside
blinks,
the car.
so at least gives him a sense of like I should go investigate whether or not that car is actually an HOV. This whole thing though, isn't this kind of admitting that it doesn't work? If you're having to cut it in half for people, isn't it just admitting that the thing doesn't work?
Isn't it going to let more people into that lane, with defeating the whole purpose of speed and flow?
And you're not arguing against people with limited means having access to speedy travel.
Not at all. I'm just saying let's admit the truth here.
Yeah,
it's about money.
It's a bust. The thing is a bust because it's not about moving traffic. It's about collecting money. You just always follow the money. That's what it's always about. They've realized that this is a really good way to generate revenue. And does this, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about this, but this money is not like earmarked for improvements on roads, right? Like, how does this work? Like, where does the money collected actually end up getting spent? Because all I hear all the time is that they never have enough money for anything. And the state's always in a budget hole, and they never have any of the funds that they need, even though we always see reports that they have record revenues. They never have money. So what all this, and every time I drive on 405 or 167, those lanes are packed. So somebody's paying them. So what? Where's the money going?
They're packed, but not everybody in that lane's paying. We know that.
Well, that's
why they had to switch to a new system.
That's true.
We know full well there are some ne'er-do-wells out there. In fact,
those guys.
we got these tags for our car finally. Because you used to have just the little reader that your tag was registered to, your credit card. We got these.
Oh, the little switchy
We
thing?
got the switchers in my car, and I put them in every car we own, all 9 cars. And it's actually,
people think you're joking.
They think I'm joking. I'm not.
He has a lot of cars.
4 of them are roadworthy.
Yeah.
But, I didn't put them on the ones in the yard or the garage, to be fair. I didn't do all of them.
Do you ride your motorcycle on those lanes?
I do, because they're free.
Because it's free.
Bikes ride free, yeah. They're always HV. But I had to get one of those for my headlight of my motorcycle. My kid
you have to put one on your motorcycle?
Yeah, you have to put one on the headlight of your motorcycle.
The camera doesn't pick up that it's a motorcycle? It has to have a thing?
They can see that I don't have 3 people. They can see that pretty clear. Don't need a cop to see that. My point being, my kid says to me, why would anybody not just leave it on red?
Yeah.
Why would you ever switch it? Because you got to catch people.
Well, I
didn't know about the light
I've gotten a ticket for driving as an HOV as a single driver.
Yeah, but they only do that sporadically.
Yeah.
And they will tell you ahead of time.
I did it for
We got patrols out.
Yeah, I did it for 2 years. No. Somebody I know did it for 2 years.
This friend of yours pulled what we call a curly.
Yeah.
Where you just play the odds. And you factor in 3 years of lane driving, 1 ticket, that's less than $1 a day. I'm good to go, as they say.
I was so nervous when I got pulled over, too, because I knew I was a bad boy. And I'll admit, I got pulled over once for this.
Yeah.
And I got a ticket for it. And when the cop rolls up, I didn't want him to see me flipping it back.
Okay, yeah.
And so when
it's like putting your seatbelt on.
Well, yeah,
when they
exactly.
Walk up.
He's like, clearly that's an admittance of guilt. And so I don't know what I was hoping. So he pulls me over and he walks up to the window. He's a super nice guy, whatever. He's like, it must have been Washington State Patrol on that road.
Sure.
And he pulls me over and he goes, kind of peeks in the back window. He kind of makes a show of looking behind me in the rear passenger seat.
Everybody got invisibility, folks, for Christmas, huh?
Boy, that sure is a tiny kid in there. I don't see a kid in there. And so obviously I don't have anybody. And he goes, yeah, so I see that you're driving with your HOV thing flipped over. And I said, oh, really? Like pretending I didn't.
Oh, no.
What? Did I do that?
That's face plant.
I did. And I told him, I was like, I totally forgot that I had it on.
Yeah.
And he's like, anyway, he was a very nice guy. He goes, yeah, you're not allowed to do that. I'm going to have to write you a ticket.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's illegal.
Now, is the first 5 free, like on the light rail? Or
they don't give you warnings.
Okay.
I wish they did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was $187 or something like that.
Well, that's an expensive lesson, buddy.
But you know what? Still worth it. If I'm being completely honest, it was still worth it. If they put this thing up, honestly, can you guys text us and let us know, 888-973-5476. If they did flip this thing up to $18 or $20, doesn't that just feel like a slap in the face? Isn't that just admitting that it's not working and to just shut it down, give us our lane back? Is there any possibility, is there any lawyers out there or somebody who's really good at understanding do they have to sign an agreement that said for the rest of time, these have to now be toll lanes, and if we ever turn them into something that's not a toll lane, We've somehow erased the Washington State Constitution, which we know they don't have a problem doing. Can't they just shut them off? If everybody hates them so much, can't they just shut them off? Like, who works for who? Don't they work for us?
They do work for us.
Is there anybody out there who's saying, like, we love these HOV, we love these hot lanes? Is there anybody? Can somebody text me who loves these hot lanes? I'd love your opinion on this.
Well,
888-97.
the state expects to make $1.6 billion from these, from this money, I think is what it is. That's their projected collection of tolls for these lanes.
Okay.
And their debt, you asked where that goes. I looked it up real quick. Its primary use is construction debt to pay for bonds that were used for construction, but also operation and maintenance, also for the roads, which I have no problem with, but then capital improvement, which means long-term equipment replacement, those kind of things. Those are all fine. But they can also decide, as you mentioned, they can just decide that we need that money elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's always a rainy day in the Capitol for some reason.
Yeah, you're right.
They can always use that money forever we deem necessary. We're going to take this money from the roads, tolls, all the things that that we told you it was for, and we're going to pay down the debt. We're going to do whatever. We're going to throw a Christmas party. Who knows what it is?
How much was the number they bring in?
$1.6 billion, I believe.
That's not that much. I mean, it's a lot of money to you and me, but like to the state with a budget of $80+ million,
talking about that.
That's chump change.
Yeah, but every little billion adds up.
What is that? That's 2% of the state's budget?
Less than 2%.
Less than 2%. You tell me they can't find 2% somewhere and save that money? And then they don't have to charge us?
They would.
They'd have a lot of happy drivers.
What'd you think about Fergie saying at his announcement there during the news? We heard that he won't commit to veto. He won't commit to vetoing any new taxes.
Yeah.
But he's made it clear. He pointed his finger at the legislature and says, my budget will have no tax increases.
I'll tell you what. I heard I've actually heard a lot of eye rolling from the listening audience.
Did you hear?
I have very good hearing.
Nice.
And I can hear the listening audience going, ugh. They know that's not true. They know that's. I don't like to use strong language on this show because it's a family show, but I'll tell you what that is. It's malarkey. That is malarkey.
You get the dump button for that? I don't know.
Use the dump.
Okay.
That is that not straight up malarkey?
Well, you can't say it so many times in a row. We don't have much time with the dump button.
I mean, isn't that? Do you believe that for a second?
It's funny. I believe in his heart that he wants that. He wants that.
Gosh.
A gambler doesn't want to drive to Vegas with the mortgage payment. He doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to do it.
But he's gonna.
But he still throws those
right?
dice.
He rolls them bones.
He does.
With the milk money. Boom.
Chasing that feeling.
Baby needs new shoes. Baby can rough it out another winter. That's what cardboard was invented for.
What's that line from Vegas Vacation where Cousin Eddie's walking him around? He's like, Clark loses the family, everything. He goes, that's what built this town or whatever. Just guys going in there and throwing the family nest egg away. That's what built this town.
That's it.
Ferguson's the same way. Like they are addicted to more taxes. They promised it last time. You go back and you watch his, this because we're in this
we do this all the time.
Business.
Yeah.
The listening audience can go back and look at any of his campaign stuff. Up and down, he was saying, listen, I'm not going to be the tax guy.
Right.
We even so much believed it because we didn't have evidence of him passing taxes yet because obviously he wasn't in a position to. He was just the attorney general. We had a thing. When we started the show, we were like, is he going to be a turd Ferguson or is he going to be a Fergie?
Fergalicious.
A Fergalicious.
Right.
And we kind of made a little funny game out of it. And then and for a while to start, until they got into the legislative session.
He talked a Fergalicious game.
We were seeing some Fergalicious stuff.
Yes, we were. Well,
before we got to know him.
In talk.
Yeah. And so when I hear him say these things, like, listen, absolutely. Well, to me, it's the exact same thing as the millionaire tax. It's the exact same thing. They had ample opportunity to lock it in at nothing below $1 million could ever be taxed as an income tax.
Put a floor in it, please.
And Jamie Peterson says, well, we don't want to bind the hands of future legislators, and then Ferguson signs it into law. They absolutely could have put something in there, and they tried to.
Yeah,
Republicans tried to.
I know, and it didn't matter to Jamie Peterson that they tied the hands of this legislation with a thing called the state constitution.
Yeah,
that didn't matter. But you don't want to tie the hands of future legislative bodies by putting a floor in this tax.
So yes. To answer your question, when I heard him talking about that, Peter, what's his name? Ferguson,
yeah.
I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah,
he's not going to do the dirty work. He's not going to be the one to propose it because obviously he's not going to dirty his hands. Somebody else will.
Yeah.
And it will be somebody like a Jamie Peterson who's already become politically toxic. Did you see that Charlie piece?
Yeah, that the Washington State Democratic Party has endorsed a different candidate than their majority leader, Jamie
And
Peterson.
not because
he betrayed the state's
Peterson betrayed the state's constitution.
No, not because he's Mr. State Income Tax.
Why
Sir.
did they not endorse him?
He's not left enough. He's a little too moderate. He's a little too common sense for our taste.
Isn't that wild?
We're high and dizzy on the Democratic Socialist victories of New York City, and we want some of that sweet DSA.
We want it.
We want it here, man.
I mean, we don't want you and I don't want it, but they want it.
That's what the Democratic Party of Washington says.
Do you think that they're worried that if they don't get on that train, that they're going to be thrown off it? Like you look at New York right now.
If they are, they're idiots.
Well, here's the thing.
You guys are the safest blue seats I've ever in my life.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Like, we don't talk a lot about national politics. You and I kind of stick more local stuff, but you look at what's happened in New York.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is in the backyard of the Democratic leadership that happened.
Yeah.
Isn't that's Schumer's hometown?
That's Schumer's hometown. But the Washington, speaking just national for a sec, New York State Republicans had a great 2024. They had a great 2020. Picked like 6 seats in the House. New York.
Yeah, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go.
Let's talk more about this.
We'll talk about
It's
it
very
later.
interesting.
Yeah,
all right, Chris Sullivan's coming up next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask Chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No, thank you.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to wish you a happy Independence Day. The 4th of July is my favorite. It's about family, gratitude, patriotism, and amazing exploding lights in the sky. Perhaps I love it most because it's called Independence Day. I love to fight for my clients' independence. Your right to drive, to provide for your family, your right to do stuff. You feel liberty most when you lose it. Remember buying a box of bottle rockets and salute shells with nothing more than a "have fun, kids"? Well, things have changed since then, including the consequences of a DUI. We're your safe and sane solution to keep freedom ringing. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom, unless they're flashing behind you. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment,
but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Celebrate 4th of July weekend at T-Mobile Park. The fun starts with Friday fireworks on the 3rd, presented by T-Mobile. Then, don't miss your chance to score a patriotic bucket hat on Saturday the 4th, thanks to Coca-Cola. Get your tickets at Mariners.com.
Check out the Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley's new location at 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Stock up now for your 4th and enjoy great food at Firecracker Alley. 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Open now through July 4th.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A federal judge today blocked President Trump's executive order aimed at creating a federal voter list and restricting mail-in ballots. Judge ruled in favor of nearly 24 states, including Washington, saying the order violates the separation of powers. Here's ABC's Peter Harlambous.
This is the third judge in just 1 week to block elements of President Trump's attempt to increase federal oversight over elections. And at this point, both of his executive orders on elections have been blocked by the courts.
Ruling halts the policy for the upcoming midterm election cycle. The person found dead after last week's Spokane wildfire has now been identified. The remains of 83-year-old Marilyn Haugen were recovered from one of the homes lost in the upriver fire. In all, 14 homes were lost. Officials say one of them was the source of the fire. It was vacant. Investigators say a squatter was inside, though the official cause of the fire is still under investigation. For the closing bell report now, mixed results on Wall Street. The Dow up 71 at the close, NASDAQ down 118, S&P flat, down less than a point. T-Mobile and Wajimaya have a seat at the same table, aiming to create a new economic strategy for the states. Company executives are among 26 members of a new Economic Development Council created by the governor. Wajimaya CEO Denise Moriguchi is on the council.
We have an opportunity to ensure that Washington remains a place where businesses can put down roots, innovate, expand, and continue to thrive for decades.
Council spans business, labor, tribes, and higher education. Its economic plan is due next June 2027. The U.S. Space Force is turning to Boeing to help keep military communication strong around the globe. The company was awarded a contract worth up to $2 billion. It includes building 2 new communication satellites, with the first expected by 2031. They'll support troops on the ground, at sea, and in the air. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 1:32. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Eastbound 2, we've cleared out between Sultan and Gold Bar from our earlier 5 to 6 mile backup due to a striping project that was underway. That is wrapped up. We've got a collision eastbound on the West Seattle Bridge, blocking 2 left lanes just past Highway 99 there on the viaduct, and we're backed up to mid-span. South 5 into Seattle, we're crowded from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 25 minutes. North 5 slows from about the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes there on 405. We're slow from mid-Bellevue all the way to the Renton Landing. And Tacoma to Olympia, a 40-minute trip. You're all clear to get down near Cabela's there in Lacey, and then from there, you're crowded into Olympia. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
A reprieve from the heat today with cloudy skies and highs in the mid to upper 60s. Currently looking at 63 degrees, mostly cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Chris Sullivan joins us now. Chris, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Chris, you have an article people can check out on mynorthwest.com.
Yep.
They absolutely should, especially if they plan on traveling for 4th of July somewhere sandy.
Basically, how to be safe when driving on the beach, because Washington, you can drive on the beach in certain areas. You can in certain parts of Oregon, very few. But whenever the 4th is going to be on a weekend like it is next week, plus there's the holidays ahead, I'm expecting a lot of people to head down to the beach. You know, we're talking tens of thousands of people. And driving on the beach is cool. I mean, I grew up growing on the beach. We're fortunate to have a family place that's like 120 plus years old down on the Long Beach Peninsula.
Whoa.
So that's where I first learned how to drive.
Is it busy this weekend?
What's it?
Is it busy?
A lot of my brothers are retired and they spend lots of time there. It's easier for them to get there from Portland than it is for me down here.
I should have spoke up sooner.
But I grew up driving on the beach. That's where I first learned. I mean, I was behind the wheel at 10. Dad would help me, do, things, because back then there were nobody there driving in the old 1969 Pontiac Catalina convertible. Oh. And so, the thing is that people get in trouble it's really easy to get in trouble on the beach if you've never done it before. And so, just this last weekend, I saw a couple of people stuck on the northern Oregon coast, just south of Warrenton. Guy was in his, one of those like Tioga RVs. Yeah. And he's just stuck in the soft sand, shut down the approach for 4 hours so people couldn't come or go. And then that same day in that same spot, a person drove too far down onto the harder, wetter sand and then was walking around, tooling around. Apparently forgot the tide comes in. And this huge pickup truck, probably a really expensive, in minutes was up to its engine, like completely submerged in the water, and you're done. And I'm like, guys, don't ruin your vacation by doing this. So I just wrote a couple of things like, here's the do's and don'ts of driving on the beach, and we can go over some of the the simplest things.
Before we go over some of the simple things, and we should, is there anything more memorable or enjoyable than driving on the beach? I love driving on the beach. We were down in Seaside. It was maybe like a summer ago, and beautiful sunny day. The waves kind of coming in, still far off in the distance, so we weren't worried about it, eating our car. And I have this beautiful sunny memory of just I was driving, my dad's in the passenger seat, all the ladies were just hanging out of the rental, and then I had the boys in the back seat, and we're just doing donuts on the beach, just going wild. It was so much fun.
Now that I'm going to tell you not to do.
Why?
Because would you turn donuts on I-5?
No, but I also wouldn't sunbathe on I-5.
Well, what I'm getting at is that it's a state highway. The beach is a state highway. At least it is in Washington.
Are they tolling it?
You guys are
not yet. Don't give them any ideas. Shush. We got to pay for Kate Disappointment somehow. Shush.
That's a hot lane. The whole beach is a hot lane.
But I mean, in the Long Beach Peninsula, other places, along the coast, it's a state highway where you're driving. The speed limit's 25 miles an hour. And I talked to a park ranger a couple of years ago. He's like, listen, if you wouldn't do donuts on your neighborhood street, you shouldn't do them here. It's wrong.
I won't call it a donut. It was a big turn.
Sweeping turn.
A big sweeping turn.
So anything you wouldn't normally do on a regular road, you probably shouldn't do on the beach because it's really easy to lose it on the beach. I get it. Donuts were fun. I did them as a kid, but I can't recommend you doing them now.
I remember moving here from the East Coast where you don't drive on the beach. Maybe down in Florida. They do it in certain parts of Florida.
Sure.
So the first time we drove out onto the Washington coast, it was Long Beach. And we were able to drive on the beach. It's like nothing I'd ever imagined.
It's magical, right?
It's pretty cool.
Magical. But it is also, it's prime for horrible decisions. And you said nothing more memorable. There's nothing more enjoyable than driving on the beach. Nothing more memorable than watching your car get washed away in the surf.
That's true too.
Or getting stuck up to the axles or to the rims, in the sand because you took a car out there that shouldn't be out there.
Right.
So what do you do? Let's say somebody does get stuck. What are some of the helpful
Well,
hints?
for the first thing you need, if you're going to be driving onto the beach, when I go to the beach, I keep a little camp shovel in the car, like one of those little handheld little ones you can, and then a flat board, some kind of little piece of plywood, and maybe in a pizza box. Because in a pinch, if you get stuck, you can kind of dig out the sand in front of your tires, lay that piece of wood in front of your tires, and then get a little momentum going to get you out of the sand. Primarily, if you're in a front-wheel drive car. Front-wheel drive cars should not drive on the beach. Now, caveat, they're fine on the beach, right? On the beach itself. It's that 100 yards on what we call the beach approaches from where the concrete or asphalt ends, and you drive through the softer sand to get down to the hard pack. That's where you lose it. And some beaches this time of year do a really good job of like paving that out almost with, with brick, temporary stuff that you can put out there. So the approaches are good. But when they're torn up, like they can be and they will be on the 4th with the amount of people in there, front-wheel drive car, we're talking 8 to 12-inch ruts. And your car may not have the right clearance for that, and you're just asking for trouble in a front wheel drive car.
You know who loves that though? Who? Tow companies.
Well, and that's
you just
the thing.
watch them park near.
They love it, but they also
are going to charge you up the wazoo.
That's why they love it.
And good luck getting
one. Yeah, over 4th of July, if there are 110,000 people in Long Beach and 40 people are stuck, how many tows do you think are down there? And here's what's really cool. I've come to find out there's a company. There are a bunch of people down there, freelancers that will pull you out for like, hey, for $30, I'll get you out of here. Yeah. And they basically just throw like a giant hook under whatever they can do, and they just rip off your bumper.
Bad idea.
Bad idea. Yeah. Don't go to those guys. But on Long Beach, there's a 4x4 rescue group on Facebook that gets people out for free. There's a people called the Clatsop County Sons of Beaches who work in the Clatsop County area in Northern Oregon, right there out of Seaside. Same thing. Their links are at mynorthwest.com. So if you're heading down, they will get you out if they can, and they'll do it for free. Now, tips are greatly appreciated because now that these days they're running a lot more gas, and it's time and energy because people are getting stuck all the time. But there are a couple of really cool volunteer agencies that work along the coast. If you get stuck, I would reach out to them. Of course, the kindness of people at the beach. If I see somebody stuck, I'm going to stop. I automatically do because I've been there. I made bad choices.
And you got the right gear in your car.
Yeah, and I've got. You're
like, would you like my pizza box?
Yeah, exactly. Or my shovel. I'll do what I'll muscle work, whatever it takes. I'll try to help people out. But yeah, just be smart. Now, here's the other thing: 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive cars, they've changed a lot. You remember the old days? You had a 4-wheel. You'd get out of your car. You'd switch the lugs. You'd tie everything. You'd lock everything up. Yeah. And then you'd go. Right now, that's all computerized.
Push button.
And chances are, your car will probably be fighting against you for what you want to do on the beach. You've got to get rid of traction control. Yeah. You've got to disable all of these things that make it safer to drive on the highway, because you need those to go away for you to drive safely on the beach. So your car might be fighting against you. So check your specs. Make sure you know what your car can and can't do. Know how that 4-wheel, all-wheel drive mode works. Get rid of traction control. Be sure to change it back. But again, just take a little air out of the tires. Too, anything that gives you a little more surface area in the tires will get you through. And in that little transition back and forth between the approach and the harder sand, pick a line, pick a groove you like. Get in there, go at a decent speed, but don't go overly speedy. Just keep a nice momentum through there, nice even speed, and go through.
Don't stop.
And if you stop, you're done.
Yeah,
you're done because next thing you know, you've built up a bank of sand in front of you, and you've got nowhere to go. And then when you start turning the back wheels, and you're just digging yourself in.
When I was in college, this is not a story that anybody should copy.
This is what we call cautionary tale.
This is a cautionary tale. When I went to college in Hawaii, and there's a beach in Hawaii that you can get access down to on your vehicle. And so I was with a buddy of mine who had an old 1970s Jeep CJ5. Okay. You guys remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Really, big fat tires. And like you said, he was smart enough because he's like, all right, let's let the air out of these tires so we can enjoy the beach. So we let a ton of air out of the tires. And then he straight up, because he was an idiot, he straight up drives into the surf,
Big mistake.
Into the water.
No.
Well, let me tell you something. It worked, and it was phenomenal. Now, was it good for his car? No. Was all that salt water good for his car? No. Bad idea. But we were literally so deep in the surf as he's cruising through. And again, these are stupid college things. And I said, this is a cautionary tale. Don't do this yourselves. we were jumping off the side of the vehicle into the water. Like you would on like Baywatch,
Wow,
jumping off of a
that is-
scarab.
I do
It
not
was so
recommend
stupid.
that
I
at
don't
all.
recommend it.
No.
But the beaches are fun, folks. We have a
Now,
lot of
and
fun
also
at the
with
beaches.
that, if you see shiny sand, the sand closer to the water but still looks hard, don't drive on that.
Yeah.
Because Washington, what lives there? That's the old razor clam beds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are all right there, and you're going to be killing next year's razor clams if you're driving over the top. And oh, by the way, if you have you've got an EV now, and you have 4-wheel drive and an EV,
Those are
just
heavy.
remember they're really
heavy.
So make sure you read the specs on that particular. It acts a little differently maybe than your car. One more thing I will tell you, that if you're going to go down and park on the beach, park away from the tracks, so you're not necessarily in the road if you can, and always point your nose at the ocean. Always have that front and windshield towards the ocean so you can see what's coming.
You can see the ocean.
The tide is undefeated.
Yes.
It never not comes in. Right? So be
I got to
prepared.
mention one thing my father-in-law taught me that works in cars. You said prepare your vehicle, bring the right equipment. Pretend you're going to go in snow.
Yeah,
I mean, put
good
the
call.
shovel. He put his tire chains, and you just lay them out flat, and they become instant traction.
Anything to get you out.
Yep.
Yeah, anything.
All right, check it out on
Be safe, have fun. It's a blast.
Be
but
safe.
Be responsible.
Chris Sullivan, thanks for coming in.
Anytime.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
Full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity
No, I
Medical
don't want
Clinic?
to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with
Yes.
because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you.
but it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. It all ends July 4th. Staples. That was easy.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Man, we got a great 2 o'clock hour. If you don't have plans, we invite you to stick around, or better yet, well, no, just stick around. If you do have plans, cancel them. Not important.
Yeah.
Stick around.
You keep us along for the run. Whatever you're doing. Yeah.
Don't want to miss a second. That's right. We travel well.
If you're going into surgery, snake a tube down your throat and see you in an hour.
Yeah.
I quote Caddyshack there. Thank you very much. Dr. Beeper.
Here's a question for you, Spike.
Sure.
Have you ever heard of a restaurant called The Walrus and the Carpenter?
Absolutely. You bet. Great oyster house.
You know what? That's why I didn't know this. I'm allergic to shellfish.
Okay, yeah. It's not for you.
It's not for me. No. Just on MyNorthwest.com right now, there's a story about there's a labor strike happening at the restaurant.
Yes, I read this.
And the restaurant had to close down for a reason we'll get into in a second. But there's a picture of what am I seeing here? Because I don't even look at this.
A beautiful tray of, I think those are Kumamotos. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they're Kumamotos. They're deep. Those are resident oysters on a bed, a sheet of ice with some looks like champagne vinaigrette and some ginger, some garlic, or some horseradish.
That looks like ginger.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this how it's typically served?
Yeah,
people
in a quality establishment. But I've been in places where they just shuck them out of a bucket and hand them to you. That's just as good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is kind of churched up a little bit. Do people pay a lot for this experience? Is this a nice restaurant?
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Okay.
It's a nice place. They treat people right.
So they have a labor strike. Their employees who are represented by a union.
This is very cheeky. The name of the union.
Tell the people.
The United Creatures of the Sea.
That's funny.
That is the union, and it's a brand new union. They've been unionized for almost a year, and they're trying to come to their first labor agreement with the ownership group.
Doesn't sound like it's going great.
It's not going great. Sea Creatures is the ownership group, and this owner of the Walrus and the Carpenter, they own 8 restaurants around the Seattle area. So the labor agreement, they've been working for a year without an agreement since they formed this union. Now the workers that are on strike, they went on strike at the Walrus and Carpenter during World Cup, when the city is flush with visitors.
Sure.
It's already the busiest season of the year because it's summertime and everybody's out and doing what they got to do and having fun. So the allegations by the workers are saying that management has been dragging their feet, have been not dealing in good faith.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to wait out and sweat out the workers who they've lost hours, they've lost wages. They want them to either give up or quit, to the point where they've been negotiating for a year for a contract. Finally, the workers say that's enough, and they picket. They go on strike. So the ownership groups bring in alternate workers, is how they frame it. Scabs is what the striking workers call it.
In this industry, they call them scallions.
Scallion, there you go. Rapscallions.
Wait a minute, is a scallion a sea creature?
Scallion is a
vegetable.
vegetable.
That's like an onion.
Yeah.
What would be
scallops?
Scallops.
Yeah, I think it's scallops. You're so close.
In this,
scallops.
They call them scallops.
So it got ugly when patrons were trying to enter the restaurant through a picket line. Harassment, vulgarities, even spitting. And this was
There's
recorded.
allegations that this is recorded. They spit on the
spat
customers
on the customers
who were trying
coming
to come in
who were not
Listen, if you
respecting their strike.
Why is a customer supposed to respect the strike line? That makes zero sense.
I get you.
Do you want the restaurant to shut down and then where's your strike going to get you? Who are you going to negotiate with?
Right.
If they can't make money, then what are you going to do? It's not like it's a big national company. This is a singular restaurant.
Right. It ain't the Walmart and the
No, you're limited in your means to be able to hold leverage over the company. If the company has to, and now they've closed their doors, they're saying this is what the company said. This is a message that they've issued an apology to the guests
because who are harassed.
If you want to kill a business faster than anything, give somebody bad service, and that's especially true in the restaurant industry. So they're trying to save their business. Yeah. So here's what they said. They said to every guest, regulars and first-time visitors alike who experienced or witnessed this, we are deeply sorry. You deserve a warm welcome, a great meal, and genuine hospitality. This is the experience that we are always striving to provide, and we regret that this was not the one that you received. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good apology.
It's a good apology. I mean, I don't know the validity of the claims by the work staff that this management group has been dealing in bad faith.
Do you know what they get paid at this restaurant? Do you know what the current pay is?
I don't.
This seems very fair to me. Under the restaurant service charge model, right now, pay ranges from depends on what the position is, but pay ranges from between $32 to $55 an hour.
Sure, yeah. When you are good at your job in the restaurant industry, whether you're a prep cook, a line cook, a wait staff, a hostess, if you're at a higher end restaurant like the Walrus and the Carpenter, you are sought after.
Do you know what a server makes at this restaurant? $49.07 an hour, according to the Seattle Times piece.
Plus tips.
I think that includes.
Is that what it equates out to? Okay,
yeah, because the base pay is like $25 an hour, but then when you add in all the other stuff, that seems okay to me.
You want the best, you got to pay the best. Well, here's the deal: if the management isn't dealing in good faith with the employees, they've got the right to strike, and with that comes the risk and consequences of your actions. It does not ever give you the permission or the right to be rude, let alone that's assault. Spitting on someone's assault. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whoever did that, arrest them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's a shame that it's gotten to this point.
It is a shame.
It's a great
it'll
restaurant.
never affect me because I can't eat shellfish. So I wish them the best.
Imagine it was a
successful.
5-star hot dog stand. You'd be mad if you couldn't get in.
I'd be there.
Yeah.
Right now. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We will be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Don't miss next week's Cal Raleigh Funko Pop giveaway. You have 3 chances to score this one-of-a-kind collectible as the Mariners take on the Angels. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at T-Mobile Park. The first 10,000 fans at each game will head home with this must-have Funko Pop. Lock in your seats today at mariners.com. That's mariners.com.
Meet Lee Platz, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Iran attacked a ship in the Strait of Hormuz with a drone today, says a U.S. official. ABC's Louis Martinez covers the Pentagon.
What we have from a U.S. official is that, yes, there was an Iranian attack on a vessel that was carried out by an Iranian drone that caused some damage to the ship's bridge.
Its first attack since Iran and the U.S. initial agreement. 7 arrests and 18 police vandalism reports are alleged by the National Park Service. What it claims led to the algae-filled and sealer flaking of the reflecting pond at the Lincoln Memorial. A federal judge blocked part of a President Trump executive order that would mandate how states would run their mail-in voting operations. Supreme Court conservative majorities today ruled that the government can keep asylum seekers from entering the U.S. and can cancel the temporary protected status granted to Haitians and Syrians. At least 188 people dead and 1,000 others injured in the Venezuelan earthquakes. This is ABC News. Europe's deadly heat wave not letting up. In London, ABC's James Longman.
The Spanish Health Ministry says 212 people died from the heat between Sunday and Thursday alone. France again shattering records, reporting its hottest day ever as Paris hit 105 degrees, Madrid reaching 107 and London 102.
Google and the TSA are teaming up to allow passengers to get screened without having to carry a physical ID. It's called touchless ID, already offered via TSA pre-check on certain airlines. People with a Google Wallet and an Android phone can scan their passports in, and facial recognition will also be used to confirm identities. ABC's Sam Sweeney.
If you don't have an Android or you don't have Google Wallet, you can still load your information with most of the major U.S. airlines. It's now available in roughly 65 airports, but you can expect it to grow in the coming months and years.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
No new taxes. Governor Ferguson talking about his next budget proposal after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, this one brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY. South 5 into Seattle. It's real thick there in Northgate into the U District from an earlier collision we had on the Ship Canal Bridge. So that cleared a while ago, and this backup is thinning out, but that's what we're left with. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. North 5, we're slow from the Michigan Curve into downtown. Southbound 405, stop and go from mid-Bellevue all the way into those Renton S-curves. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. North 405 in the south end slows from South Center all the way to Northeast 44th. South Center to Bellevue approaching 25 minutes. Southbound 167 heavy in the south end, south of State Route 18 into Sumner. In Puyallup, we've got a new crash. Eastbound 512 at Meridian. It's blocking your left lane, and Tacoma to Olympia up to 45 minutes. 8 miles now. Scattered backups between Nisqually and Olympia. Serving the Pacific Northwest for over 30 years with hundreds of 5-star reviews. 1-800-DUIAWAY.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Governor Bob Ferguson says he will not be proposing any new taxes in his upcoming budget.
Does that mean cuts? Well, of course.
Ferguson says the state will likely be facing a multi-billion-dollar shortfall in the next session.
I don't want to be doing this every year. Nobody back here wants to be doing this every year. Nobody in Washington State wants us to be doing this every year.
So programs, including those added since 2019, will be under scrutiny. Ferguson says he's telling legislators he has an expectation of no tax increases. But he stopped short of committing to veto any tax increase that should come across his desk, saying the next session doesn't wrap up for more than a year. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A Seattle basketball legend is returning to the sidelines to coach the Garfield High School boys team.
You know, this place has a strong place in my heart.
That is former NBA All-Star Brandon Roy. He was fired by Garfield at the start of the 2025-26 school year over allegations he participated in a recruiting violation. The school's principal, Dr. Terrence Hart, says an investigation found no wrongdoing.
This was not an automatic return. Coach Roy applied and interviewed like any other candidate.
Roy graduated from Garfield in 2002 as a coach. He's led the Bulldogs to 3 state titles. A neighbor thinks fireworks caused a home to explode on Whidbey Island. It sent 3 firefighters to the hospital.
Oh, I'm sure it's the fireworks. He bought a truckload last year. They brought it in over Deception Pass in a semi-truck.
Tanya tells us her home is right next door and caught on fire. 2 fire chiefs and a firefighter were rushed to a hospital with blast injuries. They are now listed in stable condition. Federal agents are investigating. No word yet on an official cause. And a reunion in Renton between a police officer and the man he helped rescue.
You guys feeling better?
Much better.
Good.
I'm walking.
Yeah, you're doing incredible.
That is Officer Greg Bills meeting with Ken Conley months after using a defibrillator to save his life. Back in April, Bills found a nurse performing CPR on Conley in a car. With help from bystanders, he pulled him out, continued CPR, and delivered 2 shocks before paramedics arrived. That quick response, police say, made all the difference. Your forecast now, we are seeing cloudy skies this afternoon, and again for tomorrow, it'll be rainy later tonight, breezy and wet for Friday. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. This is a really fun start to the hour. We saw the story. We thought we'd bring it to you because it's kind of like a dream scenario. Kind of a wish fulfillment situation.
A what-if moment.
A what-if moment.
Yeah.
Although it's actually also kind of a nightmare for somebody. How can it be all those things? I'll just tell you. Somebody has, according to mynorthwest.com, you guys can check it out there, there is an unclaimed lottery ticket that's about to expire. And it is worth $8.2 million. It was purchased in Bellingham. That's what they're telling us. That's a lot of money to not collect. Do you think somebody's just like, I don't need it? Or do you think they're unaware? They must be unaware that they won.
There's a couple possibilities here. It's possible that they are unaware. It's possible that someone grabbed a ticket and lost it, forgot it, checked it, and erroneously thought it was a loser and chucked it.
Oh,
it's also possible somebody knows the deadline, is getting their ducks in a row.
Yep.
And is going to quietly not make a big, nobody in a gorilla suit and a big check and balloons.
Yeah, they don't want
to let the world know you're now $8.2 million richer.
Yep.
All those scenarios are possible, but there's so many different unclaimed tickets.
There's a lot. This happens way more than you would think.
There's a $100,000 Hit 5 prize of a ticket purchased in Seattle. $115,000 Hit 5 prize purchased in Tulalip. I mean, there's a website you can go to, unclaimed prizes from the Washington Lottery. You can read it. Again, all this is in the story on mynorthwest.com.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's just someone knows and they're waiting. They're doing the right thing.
They're getting their CPA lined up. They're getting their lawyer.
Yeah.
They're getting their whatever.
They already filed a change of name, change of address.
They got divorced.
You never know.
I'm kidding.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about with this thing, because lottery winnings do crazy things to people.
They do crazy things.
And
you're totally right.
Success stories are rare. That sounds just bizarre to say.
Yeah, because everybody thinks the lie about getting a lot of money is that it fixes all your problems.
Right, it's the solution to all your problems.
I think this was Jim Carrey. I forget who it was. I think it was Jim Carrey, and I think I saw this in like one of those like pre-movie reels, where they like quote a celebrity.
Yeah.
And at least they used to do that. I don't know if they still do that. I think now it's probably just commercials. But they used to have like, you'd sit there in the theater, you get there early, and then they'd have like stuff on there. I don't know where I saw this. I think that was where it was. But Jim Carrey said that I wish everybody in life could get rich at some point during their life so that they could see that it doesn't make you happy and it doesn't solve your problems. Now, this is an incredibly rich guy saying that.
Money is not the answer to everything, but you can buy the answer to everything with money. That's what he doesn't tell you.
Now that I'm saying that out loud, it's like somebody go find Jim Carrey. He's like, all right, can I have your money? He's like, no, you can't have my money.
Go get your own.
It's my money.
Security. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, like, but especially with the lottery,
you see 1,000 stories about people who won insane amounts of money and they're broke in 5 years, or their life's gone to absolute garbage. People come out of the woodwork, hitting them up for family members, long lost, with dreamers, with their own. I just need somebody to back me and believe in me in my plan to build blah 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 blah. My invention of a sale that you string up between your house and your neighbor's house. I call it a yard sale, SAIL. It's for people who want privacy but can't afford to move to the country.
It would be.
That's a great idea, right? It's mine.
Really
it's my idea.
Okay.
I tried to patent that.
Have you already gotten the website?
I tried to patent that. No, I don't have the web. I let that one go.
Wouldn't it be very difficult though if you did have this huge influx of cash? If you just had this complete windfall that was unexpected, you have millions of dollars to come in. Like I was looking up this list of people. This is only $8.2 million.
Right.
There's going to be taxes on that.
That's not life changing. Oh,
yeah, it is.
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
right.
I'd love to have that problem.
Right.
So the largest lottery win in history was November 7th, 2022. It was at Powerball in California. I remember this because they kept doing news reports on what happens is these things snowball. They don't get claimed. Nobody wins. It snowballs to a bigger and bigger and bigger amount.
And then more people jump on.
And then it becomes like a viral thing.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, well, if, once it gets over $1 billion, I guess I'll try it.
That's worth my time to walk in, get in line, buy a ticket.
But $900 million is
Why not me? Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But some guy, a single ticket, won this. I believe, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I don't remember his name, but I do think, if I'm not mistaken,
Something
I think
Bezos, I think.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. I don't need it.
Wouldn't that be funny?
No.
If Jeff Bezos won the lottery and he's just like,
Eddie Musk. I'm sorry. Elon Musk, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but the guy who won it, I think, was like, he worked at like an auto shop or something, and he was like in his 30s.
How much was it?
$2 billion. Right. It was $2.4 billion. And I believe he took the payout, and after taxes, the cash value of that was $997 million.
Almost $1 billion after taxes.
Now, taxes are crazy.
That
shows you how crazy taxes are.
Yeah.
But even still, so let's say, for instance, Spike, you find yourself in a situation where you have a big lottery win. Do you take the cash? Do you take the payments?
I take the cash. I take the cash because I think I can do better. I can hire smart people to do better with it.
It certainly is probably the most popular thing
Yeah,
that people do.
I mean, people who can't control their own impulses and know that they're not the best stewards and best deciders, they'll leave it to the state to dole it out to you. You know, a year after year after year, so you can't get crazy, get stupid, blow a lot of things. Next thing they got 9 jet skis in your front yard or some garbage.
Yeah.
People who rip through, that's the stories you hear. People who rip through, buy the big house, quit the job, buy the boat, yada, yada. Those are the folks that don't make it. I would hope I'd have the common sense to hire smart people to say, look, here's what we're going to do. You're never even going to touch that money. I'm going to pull Jay Leno. You're never even going to touch that money. That money's we're going to put that money to work.
Yeah.
And you're going to live and enjoy the spoils of that money working
money's going
for
to
you.
make money.
Right. That's what I would hope I would do.
That's what you would hope.
Hope I would do.
But you would probably also want to splurge just a little bit. It's not something you would do.
I'd buy a new pillow probably
that's
for
nice.
a better night's sleep.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know,
something fancy.
I've been sewing mine back together for a few years now. It's really starting to be
You know what I
threadbare.
do? I'd go to Bed Bath & Beyond without coupons.
How much are we talking about? Not for 8.2.
We actually have a Bed Bath & Beyond.
I know. I love this. This is great. Not for 8.2 you wouldn't. Maybe if you won $1 billion.
No, but you know what? It's interesting. Everybody likes to daydream about this.
Sure, of course.
Because it's fun. The really tough part would be, I think, number one, the most important thing is don't let anybody know that you've got the money.
Right.
I do love. There's a meme though that I really like, or I see it from time to time. Or maybe people just say it, but they're like, if I get really rich, I'm not going to tell anybody, but there will be signs.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
it's like a giant boat in your front yard, or whatever the joke is. But I think the
200 head of cattle, huh?
Yeah,
right here in Linwood. Wow,
interesting. But you would not want anybody to know that you have the money, because that would be the toughest part. Every single person you know.
Yeah. And
I think it's why famous people have such tough lives too, is because
everybody
comes out of the woodwork and wants something from them.
And I'm self-bragging here. I think I'm a very generous person by nature.
Sure.
You
are. You're very generous.
I think I'd be the kind of guy that couldn't say no.
It'd be
to
really
cousins,
tough.
to childhood friends.
But you can't give everybody everything that they want.
Right. It's
also not healthy for them. And when you look at the percentage of people who end up, the crazy number, there's all these shows on A&E and stuff, or History Channel. I don't know why it's on History Channel, whatever channel it is, where they highlight the people who've won the lottery, like a lottery horror stories.
Yeah.
And 90, this is anecdotal, so this is not the exact number. A very high percentage of the people who win the lottery, they're dead within 5 years. Not just broke, they're dead.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't mean to laugh, but yeah, it's hilariously tragic.
Because suddenly you've toiled your whole life, and you want to have the comforts of life.
Yeah.
And you make this random purchase, and you're 1 in 383 million chance you're going to win it.
Right.
Crazy.
I had a dream.
Yeah. And then you win it, and you have this huge influx of cash that you didn't earn, so you don't know how to spend the money. In fact, usually it's people who are playing the lottery who are not very good with money.
Bad with money. They need a dream. That's all they got.
Yes.
They don't have a plan. They got a dream. Those are vastly different things. Next you know, he's Jabba the Hutt. Got a girl in a bikini on a chain, eating whatever live out of a jar.
There will be signs.
There will be signs. So tell me about Bed Bath & Beyond. I hear they're making a comeback.
Are we doing Bed Bath & Beyond already?
Do you have time? I don't know. No. I'm sorry.
You
mentioned
other stuff.
No, you teased that. No.
We do it if you want to. No, we talked about it. Bed Bath & Beyond. No, let's do that at 2. Yeah, we were already talking about it. It's here.
Flip around.
It's here.
It's our show.
Bed Bath & Beyond has, they're kind of trying to make a resurgence.
I didn't think, I thought they were done. I thought they had cashed out. I thought they had tapped out, declared bankruptcy, closed all their stores.
Apparently they're trying to make a resurgence. And so what they're going to do is, according to this website, according to the story that I read, let me read it. This is a little bit from the Daily Mail. This is kind of fun. When Bed Bath & Beyond shut its doors across the country, bargain hunters were left wondering what to do with their beloved blue coupons. Bed Bath & Beyond stopped accepting them in 2023 after filing for bankruptcy and closing all of its stores. And now they're saying that they're going to honor some of the coupons. Overwhelmingly positive response prompted the chain to launch a nationwide contest to find the oldest Bed Bath & Beyond coupon. Shoppers have until July 13th to bring their oldest coupons into participating stores for a chance to win a $100,000 home renovation. Additional prizes include $500 to $100 gift cards.
So as I read this story, and it's from...
Because Overstock.com.
That's what it was.
They acquired the brand.
Because the name is what's valuable.
Yeah.
Right?
So they're
I
not
learned
open,
from Tommy
but
Boy.
Overstock.com.
I'm just going to buy Callahan and slap it on a box. The name is what matters. That's what people trust. Right? They love that Bed Bath & Beyond name.
Yeah.
And these guys went bankrupt, sold off everything. They got bought out by Overstock.
Overstock.
And Overstock is
relaunched their e-commerce business.
Okay.
Rebranded itself as Bed Bath & Beyond, apparently.
Okay, these are two companies that didn't make it. And they're joining forces and using that Bed Bath & Beyond brand.
I see Overstock everywhere.
Why are
online?
They? Yeah.
Oh, okay. But Overstock is online. I thought they were only online.
Well, that's all they were.
But
so
now
are they
Bed Bath & Beyond online?
They're not going brick and mortar Bed Bath & Beyond? Because those stores, good luck getting the pickleball guys out of the store in Linwood. Bed Bath & Beyond up in Linwood? That's a pickleball kingdom now.
Pickleball kingdom.
Yeah, and they're here to stay.
They're here to stay. Did you ever shop at Bed Bath & Beyond?
Sure, of course.
Did you like
homeowners?
There's a lot of stuff.
That's the thing. There's too much stuff. There's
like
just
winning
too
the
much
lottery.
stuff.
You go in there, you're just like inundated with stuff.
And 5 years later, I was dead.
And you got great deals.
Yeah, they had good stuff. They had everything. That was the beauty of it. If you had a kid going to college, you go to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Sure. Get your dorm room set up.
You have everything you need, possibly from toilet scrubbers to rugs for the whatever. You got it.
Actually,
Pillows.
When I went to college, Bed Bath & Beyond locally had a registry system. So I got to go in like I was getting married and beep, 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 scan whatever I wanted. And then they had it all ready for pickup in L.A. at the Bed Bath & Beyond in L.A. when I went down to college.
That's genius.
Genius.
How did that not work? How did they go out of business?
Well,
people kept coming in with coupons.
I think it was
we couldn't get full price for anything.
I wonder if it was the coupons. I wonder if people just they became too like nobody was going to buy anything at Bed Bath & Beyond unless you had that blue coupon.
Well, here's the thing about I've got a marketing degree. Not that I want to brag about it.
Explain the coupons to me, because you look at a company like Bed Bath & Beyond, you look at a company like JCPenney, who became known for their sales, and the value that people could have if you had either a coupon or if you went in JCPenney's case at a certain time, you picked up something out of the local advertisements.
There was an evolution of the image of coupons, where people became convinced that people who constantly offered couponing as a way to make it affordable, came to the realization, if not the assumption, that everything was overpriced. And the stores got reputations for being, look, if I need a coupon to afford your stuff, to make it a good value for me, you're overpriced. And they moved to lower priced retailers, like a Kohl's. Or I'm not to be picking anybody out, but there are lower retail price level retailers.
Sure.
And it's all when the internet sales came aboard, became the norm, as opposed to the fringe exception for retail. The brick and mortar who could get you coming in because you trusted the name. Sears was the perfect example. You bought something from Sears, you could count it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Sears was always going to be there for you. But people that was in an era when people bought things and kept things and had things fixed and had a repairman come over. We became a disposable society. We offshored manufacturing to cheaper, affordable manufacturing. Things became disposable. So when people started needing coupons to afford good stuff, they just figured, I'll buy cheap stuff. Why am I doing that?
Sears is another one of those cases that's kind of crazy.
Sears was the biggest name in America.
Biggest name. So
in the world, probably, at its time, at its heyday.
When I was 19, maybe 20 years old, it was during summer when I was in college. My grandma wanted me to paint the inside of her. And I was like, I did college painting and stuff the previous summer. My grandma was like, hey, why don't you come down and paint my house? And I'll pay you to do it. And so I went down there, and I was just going to go to like one of the local paint stores. She would not let me get supplies anywhere but Sears, in Sears' home department.
Yeah.
She's
American
like,
Trust.
you cannot, because that is where we have bought our supplies, everything, from sheets to cooking ware to
the fridge itself.
To the
all
fridge
came
itself.
From Sears.
Everything came from Sears.
Yep.
How is it possible that a business like that could go out of business?
They used to be the only game in town. Used to be the catalog. People in far-reaching rural America.
I remember the Sears catalog.
Shopped through mail order from Sears. There was a point you could buy a house from Sears.
I have an old magazine from the 1950s where you can it's the catalog of whatever you can order, the prefab houses.
Yes.
And they would ship you all the stuff, and it'd be like $500 for a house.
Yeah. And then you find a contractor if you can't do it yourself, but most Americans can do it themselves. We just beat World War II, for Lord's sake. We could build a house.
Do you think Sears was kind of like the big three in media? Like the NBCs and the ABCs and the CBSs? They just didn't have any competition, or were they just...
No, they had all kinds. They got big because no one could match their volume and their reach.
Sears.
Sears.
Yeah.
They took over the world because they could buy, like Walmart has. They buy in bulk. They offer lower prices through just scale, of size.
I miss Sears.
I miss Sears. Sears Roebuck. Come on. Craftsman tool. My grandfather, you break a Craftsman tool 30 years after you buy it, you walk in with a broken tool, they give you a new tool.
That's good service.
Nobody does that anymore.
It's good service.
It's all about service. Sears went out of business because America had too many choices. America got an appetite for cheaper, disposable products. And that's who we are as a society. We're a disposable society, more so than we used to be.
Isn't it so horrible that you can just count on whenever the manufacturer's warranty on your product ends, that month it will break down?
It's built that way. Planned obsolescence.
It's just built into it. It's like there's a little timer inside that just like has a...
Sears figured out. If I sell you something that you never have to buy a new one, I'm losing a customer. They want us to buy a new TV every 3 to 5 years. They want us to buy a new car every 3 to 5 years. Nothing's built to last anymore.
That's insane.
There's no money in it.
I like the stuff that lasts.
Sure.
I mean, the stuff that you really value that you can hand down to your kids. That's what you want.
The more you pay for something, things are worth what you pay for them oftentimes.
Yeah.
You want a better product, you got to pay more. That's it. If you want it to last, you got to pay more. You can't buy cheap stuff and expect it to get any life out of it, any dependability out of it. That's just the way it goes.
I miss Sears. This whole conversation just led to me missing Sears. I miss going to Sears with my grandma. That's what I miss. I just miss my grandma.
I hear you.
I miss Sears like I miss my sweet, sweet granny.
You know that Sears that was up in my neck of town, north of Seattle?
Yeah.
Right? That was a regional distribution hub for the entirety of the
region.
Northwest. Oregon to Idaho to Montana. That building is 7 stories. 5 of them are subterranean.
Jeez.
That building, that Sears location was 7 stories deep. That place was, they would bring
What is
things.
it now?
It's currently sitting empty. It is a construction hub as they're building up. That shopping center up there is going to be multi-story, high-density, multifamily, 8 stories of residential above a store of retail. That old massive Sears parking lot is going to become a community. That's what you need these days.
They're going to knock it down and build, or they're going to build apartments in it.
They're already building apartments around that, around the periphery of that footprint.
Gotcha.
And eventually it's all coming down. It's going to be 25,000 people living there.
Jeez
in the
Louise.
Sears parking lot.
That's crazy. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. You don't want to miss a second of it. I promise.
We can get to the budget allocated for payout settlements to victims of the DCYF.
That's a good one.
That's an eye-opening story.
Post office.
We can talk about the big developments in the federal post office situation with regard to voting. Lots of
stuff. Tons of good stuff. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and
rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Meet Lee Platz, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Dan. Dan, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I had the same insurance company for 30 years and just accepted all the premium increases as inflation or feeling tethered to them because I have earthquake coverage and was uncertain about being able to get that anywhere else. But when I talked to Ken at First Mark, wow, he came back with bigger umbrella policy, better earthquake coverage, which I didn't think was possible. And when he came down with the premium number, it was a no-brainer. We were saving over $2,500 a year. Don't wait, because it's annoying to think of what I could have done with that money over the last 10 years had I done something sooner.
Well, Dan did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be the next First Mark Challenge victory that I get to talk to as well. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. An early morning shooting in West Seattle's High Point neighborhood leaves a teenage boy wounded. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has the details.
SPD says 911 callers reported rapid gunfire just before 1 a.m. near Southwest Morgan Street and Sylvan Way Southwest. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard says along with one victim, 3 vehicles and 2 buildings were hit by gunfire.
Officers arrived and found a 17-year-old boy suffering from a gunshot wound to his hip. Medics transported the victim to Harborview Medical Center in serious but stable condition.
Officers found a suspect vehicle crash nearby. They also recovered a rifle and a handgun. So far, no arrests have been made. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
We've all seen those World Cup matches in Seattle packing the streets with tourists. A local business owner says they're also driving away his customers.
Those are the worst days that we tend to have.
Vince Vu owns Ennui Bake Shop in the Chinatown International District. He spoke today with Jean Ursula.
It's probably a combination of, folks being told, tourists being told better avoid the CID, and the locals staying home because they're afraid of what's happening because of all the crowds.
Mayor Katie Wilson has pledged action to stop crime in the International Districts. Vu says he's still waiting. Washington is among nearly 24 states celebrating a court win against President Trump. ABC's Peter Harlambous reports a federal judge blocked an executive order would have built a national voter database and restricted mail ballots.
And the timing is crucial. Earlier this month, the Postal Service actually began the process of enacting part of this executive order by issuing a proposed rule that would direct states to create these lists of approved voters. The judge really unequivocal about the legality of that, writing, and I quote here, "The Constitution does not grant the president any specific powers over elections."
Ruling halts the policy through the upcoming midterm election cycle. And a piece of local history up for grabs in Bellingham. Community members can pick up a piece of the iconic Bellingham Rock on Saturday, June 11th at Civic Stadium. The rock, weighing more than 100 tons, served as a makeshift message board along I-5 before it was removed for a fish passage project. Crews had to break it apart to move it. Now those pieces are headed to the public. More than 1,000 of them available, one per person while they last. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 2:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. South by 5 heading into Seattle. We're jammed up at Lake City Way in the downtown. It's a half hour from Linwood. North 5 is packed from almost mid-Bowling Field now into downtown. Looks like we might have a new blocking issue just past the Michigan curve. South 405, you're slow from 520 down to the Renton. S-curves are really thick from about mid-Bellevue through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. Southbound 167, we're heavy south of State Route 18 into Puyallup. The north end is clear, all added up. A Renton to Puyallup plan on a 40-minute trip. Westbound 18, bumper to bumper from the West Valley Highway over to I-5. Seattle to Everett, 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett at 45. And Everett to Marysville, a 10-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And to the forecast now, cloudy skies and some pockets of rain already moving through. More showers tonight and again for tomorrow. Highs today in the mid to upper 60s. Right now, 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. I saw the story. We have talked about this before on the show. People might be surprised about this, but the state of Washington has to pay out on sometimes they are sued for mismanagement, for whatever. I mean, you can sue the state for a number of things.
Mm-hmm.
And the guiltiest of parties, at least in terms of the amount of money that they're paying out yearly, is the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, the DCYF.
Right.
To a shocking amount. Were you surprised by the amount of money that is going out?
Oh, absolutely. I'm shocked by the number of cases brought against the organizations, particularly with the WCYF. Is that
DCYF?
DCYF. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's DCYF.
Close.
The number of cases for alleged abuse and neglect, that number itself is even more shocking to me than the dollar amount. The dollar amount, I think, is relevant to a society that we live in. We just talked about lottery winnings. Used to be $1 million was like a life-changing number. Now people don't even get out of bed until the Powerball hits $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right? So now when people get settlements for previous wrongdoing, previous harm, whether it's for physical, for property, for reputation even, the number for compensation is just skyrocketed. Now settlements are in the multiple tens of billions of millions of dollars on a case by case basis.
Here's how much they're setting aside in anticipation of payouts.
Right.
$956 million. $956 million. So in this 2-year budget biennium,
mm-hmm.
their payouts are going to exceed $1 billion. It's going to be like $1.3 billion in payouts.
Yeah.
Here's a question to you. Why, if you had an organization like the DCYF,
mm-hmm.
which is paying out so much money, don't you think that they would do a better job of investigating the organization internally, like the state of Washington? If you had some,
but here's the problem. I hear what you're saying, but this number is because they have done a better job of investigating this organization. These are previous claims, previous violations.
Well, they have 1,400 pending now, according to the story.
Because they've looked in, and some of these are years, if not decades old, some of these claims of wrongdoing, because they've done a better job of listening to and believing victims, investigating. I mean, when you settle something with a can't find the right word here, complainant. I'm not sure which side of the jury that is, if you're the defender or the accused, whatever, the plaintiff. When you settle something, it's because they've got a case. There's been some investigation. Otherwise, you'd go to court.
Well, yes.
Right? Oftentimes.
Yes and no. Sometimes
it's a financial decision to just.
Sometimes it's just a business decision.
To save face, save money. Sometimes it is. But often, I mean, if there's nothing there, and you're talking about settlements in the millions, if not tens of millions of dollars, you take these people to court, you ride it out.
So according to this Fox 13 story, in April, a Tacoma jury returned the largest verdict of its kind in state history, awarding $130 million to the estate of Sarari Brooks. I'm probably messing that name up.
I think it's Sarai.
Sarai.
This is the woman hitting the intersection.
No.
No, it's not.
This is a 2-year-old who she died, unfortunately, of blunt force trauma to the head. This was back in 2022.
Okay, my apologies.
The mother and her mother's boyfriend were both convicted.
Okay.
In connection with the death.
Yes.
And the problem was that the state failed to act in ways that may have prevented this child from dying.
Yeah.
And we've had guests on the show talking about this very thing, where you have the DCYF, who 62% of that $1.3 billion in payouts from the state, that's from the DCYF. I'm sorry, maybe it's 62%. Anyway, over 62%. So $800 million in payouts, because there's a lot of stuff like the Keeping Families Together Act, which ends up resulting in a lot of dangerous situations for those kids, which then later on turn into lawsuits.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's just one element of it. There's also the fact that they're grossly understaffed at the people who do inspections and maintain the well-being checks, wellness checks on families. Grossly understaffed for the amount of people that rely on these organizations, these departments of local government for well-being. There's not enough caseworkers to check on so many people into a system, and so people slip through the cracks. And there should be, if the state's going to have a system to manage the well-being of children, there should be enough people to make sure that is done. And if the state wasn't ruled negligent in caring for these kids, meeting the responsibilities of looking in on these kids, then there wouldn't be a case against the state. I mean, sometimes it's the rules of the Keeping Family Together Act, which is well-intended, but totally seems to miss the mark.
Yeah.
Both of those things can be true at the same time. And they're looking deeper into cases. They're finding negligence and abuse that was ignored, if not overlooked, if not just missed completely from years gone by.
I would be interested in do you know the percent? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but do you know where the claims are about how much they're understaffed? I mean, is that to how much? Do they need 20% more staff in order to do their job?
I don't know the numbers. I couldn't tell you. But I've heard numerous reports of people saying, look, there's 6 caseworkers to check on 700. Well, and I'm just grabbing numbers out of the sky.
Yeah.
Say there's 6 caseworkers and there's 700 children that are in the system, depending upon these caseworkers, to make sure they're the ones that are being cared for appropriately, and the state's meeting their responsibility.
The problem is with some of these cases, I don't think it's an understaffing issue. It's the caseworker going in and not doing the job that they're supposed to do.
Oftentimes it's negligence. Yeah.
We had the story on a couple weeks ago about the kid who was being starved, I believe, by his foster parents.
Yes, and who had been checked on.
And the state went in the week before he died of starvation.
Right.
It's very hard to die of starvation. It's very hard in our modern times in America to die of starvation.
It would seem to be impossible to miss that.
It would seem to be impossible. But the caseworker, apparently, according to the story, walked in, took the word for it that the kid was fine, didn't do an investigation, didn't lift up the shirt to see.
Right.
And there had been plenty of claims by the people in the kid's life, teachers, different people.
And those moments are why we have settlements like we have, and why we have to put away nearly $1 billion dedicated in the budget to settle these claims against these organizations.
I would be interested to see. I know that there was Travis Couture, local representative.
Yeah,
he went to great lengths, and he said this on the show, just like you just said. He said, this may have been well-intended to keep the families together, but if it ends up being harmful to the kids and putting them in a harmful situation, then obviously it's not working, and that needs to change. He worked very hard to amend that law and to change it, and did not get Democratic support. And I would be curious to see, as this number continues to climb year after year, and now it's at $1.3 billion. I mean, again, only $800 million of that is from the DCYF. That's still a lot of money. I'd be curious to see if you have some of the higher level state lawmakers like Bob Ferguson's, people who are feeling the real pinch of having to worry about budgets, if that's the thing that finally gets them to lean on some of the other lawmakers, the local representatives, and starting to say, hey, you know what, guys, this law needs to be fixed. And sadly, cynically, not because they're worried about the children, but because they're worried about their pocketbooks and the state budget.
Yeah.
But hey, if it gets the kids safe, I'll take it however they can amend that bad law. If that bad law is causing kids to be harmed, then however they need to have a fire lit under their lawmakers' butts to change it, that would be great. And maybe it'll be the dollar amount. Who knows? All right. Are we already at text messages?
Yeah, we're out of time, buddy.
This show goes too fast.
I'm telling you.
You know, I'm going to go out and ask John if we can have an extra hour.
Yeah, see if
That'd be nice.
I bet he loves.
He's going to say no, but I'll ask him.
He's got a lot of show to give you, too.
We got text messages coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask Chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your health, how do you know what's right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements. Not trends, your biology.
Learn more at Viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code Viome50 to save $50 off your purchase.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Check out the Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley's new location at 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Stock up now for your 4th and enjoy great food at Firecracker Alley. 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Open now through July 4th.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about summertime. Bikinis, the occasional Speedo, sunshine, and almost always more drinking. But don't let the wine coolers or hard lemonades fool you. Too many drinks at the beach can get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're sporting a farmer's tan, but the police are wearing heavy, dark uniforms. And it's not because they're comfortable. If you don't take preventative measures, your summer tan can become a costly burn. Take a designated driver with that aloe vera and SPF 50. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to set up a free private consultation. Jail is no place to ask, missed a spot? Mind getting where I can't reach? Be reasonable this summer. And always remember, 1-800-DUI-AWAY has your back.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver. From New Nordic, search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got text messages galore. We had a lot of really weird topics today. These are fun ones. These are really good responses. Thank you guys so much for participating. Laura, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, on Wiley Vacation Thieves. 206 says, our mail carrier performs the same service as the Everett police volunteers who will check your house and do drive-bys. But he would not be outed. He just simply goes up to each house regardless of whether or not people are on holiday. So it looks like he's delivering mail every single day, even to the house where folks are not at home.
Wouldn't he just do that anyway, though?
Well, if not, they're holding your mail. He would drive right by. Yeah. He's doing a walk-up. He's giving the impression that you're home.
There you go.
That's a lovely service. Chuck in Lake Forest Park says, years ago, thieves would follow obituaries in the newspaper. They would note the day and time of the memorial service. That's horrible. Figure out that no one will be home that day. During the service, they'd burglarize the house. And then back when landlines were the only phones, these would call your house. If the phone kept ringing, they figured no one was home, and they'd burglarize the place. When my mother left the house, she would take the receiver off the hook.
That's funny. My parents would just do, there's a tried and true anti-burglar trick. You just leave the main light on in the entryway, and they'll never bug your house.
Oh, in the foyer? Your foyer?
In the foyer. Just leave the light on in the foyer, and nobody bugs your house. At least that's what happened with my house. Nobody seemed to bug it. Or they just didn't think we'd have anything good to steal.
You put a washing machine in your front lawn, no one will ever break into your house. That's a proven fact.
On toll roads, 425 said, because we were talking about toll roads, there's a discussion about whether or not to cut tolls in half for families who are at 2% of the poverty line.
200%. $66,000 income for a family of four in Washington.
There you go. So 425 says, if they opened up all the lanes and they made them all free, they would be shocked at how smoothly traffic would actually flow. Washington state leadership sucks. It would be really interesting because there's just this endless debate now. If they did just give us all access to it as we used to have as an HOV lane, what would happen to traffic? And I do wonder if it wouldn't be beneficial just to try things. So I wish they would just try things.
Sure, for a month. I mean, we're trying this, Revive I-5 thing. We're doing that, whatever they're
fixing up stuff.
Yeah,
you're right.
Give me a month.
Do it for a month. Watch
all
the
roads,
data
all the time. See how things move. I mean, the idea of HOV lanes were to get cars off the road, eliminate pollution. But then cars are stuck in traffic, burning more gas.
Burning
popping
double
out
the
more
pollution.
Carbon. Right. Love to see that. What a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
206 says on fines, make it $1,000. Doesn't matter. 99.9% of people would have their pass in HOV lanes anyway. HOV mode anyway.
Good for you guys.
Yeah. Just scofflaws.
And on no new taxes, the promise we heard today from Governor Ferguson. Again, 253 says, I don't believe Ferguson. Unless I'm mistaken, he raised every tax and made new taxes as his first act in office.
He didn't like doing it. Made this guy, I don't like doing this, but.
He hated it. You could tell he hated it. He signed his name really slow to all the tax increases.
And it's the thought that counts.
Yes.
Sure.
It's all about intention. That's the most important thing, folks.
Never impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
People say that.
Oh, look at this one from 206. Says, what a great, we're talking about Governor Ferguson, Turd Ferguson. It says, 206, what a great segment. I love hearing more humor, especially when calling out politicians who make stuff up and make promises just to get elected on both sides. Go get them, guys.
Go get them, boys.
Yeah, I like that.
On driving on the beach, this was a popular one today. Dave says, I used to go out to Ocean Shores during the 4th of July with my four-wheel drive, and I would tow people out for $20. I was thinking that is a nice, quick way to make some cash. The problem is you're going to put yourself in a situation where, like, are you going to be, if you hook up to something that's not supposed to be hooked up to, like just a normal bumper,
right, yeah.
A lot of those are just going to rip right off.
Especially the way cars are made these days. Sully mentioned that in this piece he gave us today. That's
it's all plastic.
It's amateur out there and no one's got any responsibility. There's no accountability. If somebody rips a bumper off your car, what are you going to do? Sue them? You're not. That's why tow truck operators are licensed and bonded.
Wouldn't it be funny if you're out there, you're like, hey, I'm going to go make a quick $20. I'm just going to all these cars are stuck because they don't know how to drive. You hook it up, you pull a bumper off, you're like, ugh. Like, what do you do in that situation?
Sorry, no charge.
Half off.
Half off. You got a heart of gold. Sharon in Olympia says, if you get stuck and call AAA, they will not cover it because you're obviously not driving legally and you got stuck. I looked into this. She's absolutely right. AAA does not cover winching or towing for vehicles stuck on the sand of Ocean Shores because these are not considered regularly maintained, publicly accessible roadways.
But Chris told us that they're state highways.
They're state highways, but
they're not regularly maintained.
That's what
it's
it says.
Like if somebody goes,
that's AAA saying that.
Let's say somebody goes and drives on a road that's closed because of snow. So they wouldn't come and get you without maybe an extra charge.
I'm not sure. That's a good question. If the road's closed and you're on it, you're not supposed to be there. That's an illegal place to be.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
425 says my brother and his friends drove on the beach in Oregon at night in a Jeep. Top off, took a hard left, and the Jeep tipped over. One of the guys grabbed the windshield, and car landed on its side. He lost his finger. Jeez. Ouch. That's actually kind of lucky. Not that you lose your finger, but that you only lost your finger.
Yeah, that's you got off cheap. And not to be an idiot, but you got off pretty cheap on that one.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
If you had to lose one finger, what would it be?
Anyone but this. I go my entire life with 9 fingers.
What would you choose, Laura, if you had to lose one finger?
Ooh, I had a babysitter growing up who later got into an ATV accident, so she lost her middle 3, so her hand was in a permanent shaka. And I always thought that looked kind of cool. So can I take 3?
Way to find us. If I'm going to lose one, I'm going to lose 3. Way to find a silver lining.
Nobody would ever say thumb. Nobody ever says thumb.
That's the only thing that separates us. The opposable thumb.
I might go with, I think I would probably go ring finger on my right hand. Just because I'm not putting a ring on it.
Yeah, you're never going to use that
I'm not going to, I use this for nothing.
Right.
Never use that finger.
Yeah, right. That is the most useless finger.
Useless.
On winning the lottery and the unclaimed $8 million ticket, 360 says they're trying to figure out how to avoid the millionaire's tax in the state.
You're right. They're applying to move. That's what they're doing. They're going to get a new house somewhere else. You don't have to apply to move.
They're trying to set up residency in Idaho and then claim their money. That's brilliant.
Why did I think they have to apply to move? All right, John at 573. Where's 573? Does anybody know? 573?
Take a look.
I'd be happy winning a small lottery, $200K or so, enough to pay off my debts and take some time to go back and finish college. I'm happy with the rest of my life.
Wow.
John, I love you, buddy, but don't spend your money on going to college. If you're already an old man,
go back and finish up get the old degree.
It's not what I would do.
Woodworking.
Just go buy a woodworking machine. Go learn how to do it.
Buy a chair.
Don't lose a finger with a brand new woodworking machine.
All right, John Curley's coming up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow. It'll be a fun Friday show. Go Team USA, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
With the experience of over 150,000 procedures, the doctors at K2 Vision will know which procedure is best